Hello, everyone, and welcome to Perilous Paths here on GDQ Hotfix. We are the home of adventurous and challenging speedruns. As always, my name is Cutie, and before we get into what we're doing today, which is a very special day, I've been looking forward to this for literally a month. Let's talk about, because we are the Monday show, we always want to talk about the schedule of things that are coming up. So make sure that you go to gdq.gg/hotfix or gamesdonequick.com/hotfix, either one, to check out the schedule for the entire week. And the reason I bring that up now is we are going to be at PAX East. That's right. PAX East is March 26th to 29th, and you can visit east.paxsite.com to find out more, or use !PAX, in the Twitch chat for more information, the schedule, etc. So check that out. We have a lot of incredible stuff going on over there. Now, let's talk about today. This might as well, it's not my birthday, but it might as well be my birthday because we have two of my favorite games here, one of which I'm actually a former runner of. I say former because it was a long time ago. But first up, we've got NieR Automata, any percent with Percy. And then we're going to have NieR Automata that we have at home, Team NieR Automata, any nickname you want to give it. Stellar Blade, also an amazing game, any percent new game plus story with Ashley. And then after the show, Osborne's doing all Castlevania. And if you know this show and you know me, you know I love Castlevania. So today is just an amazing 6 hours. So without further ado, we can go ahead and get into the action. Let's do NieR Automata, any percent. Notice the special A. If you know, you know. VC3 mod with Percy and friends, Ashley, Icarus, etc. How are all of you doing today?
Yo, what's up? I'm doing great. My name's Percy. And today I'll be showcasing a ending of NieR Automata with VC3 mod, as previously mentioned. But I'm not here alone. I brought two wonderful commentators. Do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah. So hello. I'm Icarus. I've been running this game for like 3.5 years around. Nowadays I don't do that many runs myself, but I mostly like to teach newer runners to the game, and I'll be commentating today.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm Ashley, 93 by the way. I also run this game, or have ran it before. I actually ran this back in September at PAX West a couple months back. But if you saw that run, you're in for an actual treat because Percy is such on a entirely different caliber level compared to me. Like he is above it. Like he does things above and beyond anything that I ever thought were possible in this game. So you were in for an absolute treat. This is going to be quite the show, and I'm super excited to be here for it.
All right, if you're ready to go. Okay, I'll count down before I start. I just wanted to make sure my settings are correct and loaded, but yeah, I'm ready now. So we'll be starting this run in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck, have fun.
Back to Shmup.
Back to Shmup.
Back to Shmup.
Thanks for the luck.
Everything that lives is designed to end. We are
So yeah, first up, let's explain this category maybe. I'm running a ending, which is the first ending of the story in this game. You can play through it multiple times, and you should if you haven't already. The game does not end after the ending, so please go ahead and play it if you haven't. But yeah, back to this run, we'll get the first ending. We'll play as 2B most of the time. And VC3 mod basically means that we have a mod installed. It doesn't do much, but it's really nice to use as a runner because it like removes a lot of RNG from the run, and yeah, it just makes the runs more consistent, more fun, and it's like the main category basically, even though it doesn't have the most runs on the board. But yeah, let's get right into this first section.
Yeah, so this is a third-person JRPG / hack and slash. But you're going to notice that starting out here, we're in a top-down sort of shoot-'em-up section, and unfortunately, whenever you grind this game a lot, you do have to sit through about 1:30 before you're allowed controls. But as soon as we're given control, which is going to be in a couple seconds, we're going to swap to a different weapon set, and we're actually going to take some intentional damage. Starting out in prologue here, we're actually given a fair number of heals, and we actually don't really need all the heals, so we go and we waste the large buffs and the large heals and medium heals because, you know, not much to do here. We're just killing time, and we may as well just get them out of our menu that we're going to be navigating later. Saves a few
also, like,
frames.
Enemy unit sighted ahead.
Coming up now, there's going to be enemies that are spawning, and for these waves, they will always be happening at the exact same way every time. So the positions of the enemies are all predetermined, and we have pretty specific setups we use to kill each wave the most efficient way possible. So Percy has them all memorized, and he will destroy them really quickly and efficiently.
Yeah, shmups are more or less like going through the motions. You're going to notice that after he takes this hit here, he's going to push this ally off to the right, and that's because we know that the next wave coming up, there's going to be enemies coming in from the sides, and the ally's going to help take them out.
This is like the most specific enemy manipulation wave, or not enemy, I mean ally rather, where you would have pushed that flight unit to the right, if you saw that. Now we're actually switching perspective. There's two modes in the flight unit. There's the traveling mode, I guess, and this is the mobile configuration, where we have more of a twin stick shooter control, and the aim is separate than the movement, obviously. So the enemies will just be killed by the other melee attack now, the light attack being more optimal for this.
Yeah, this game's presentation is broken up. Well, not really broken up, but this game presents itself in many different control schemes, which I think is really, really cool. So talking about the story, we are humanity's like last line of defense, I guess, and we're sent on a recon mission, and unfortunately it's not going really well for us. All of our allies are dead. So we're just getting orders from command to go back into the factory and meet up with our supporting character, 9S.
Yeah, we were sent here to take out a Goliath enemy, which is basically like a big enemy because we're fighting the machines, and we don't quite know what the enemy is yet, so we'll go through a couple of boss fights until we actually meet the final boss. Sorry for the small spoiler, but yeah, so you'll see a bit of combat soon.
And then here you're going to notice that we're just taking intentional hits to once again waste the rest of our buffs. And then we're now in a sideways shoot 'em up sort of view, and this is kind of like almost the last and second to last and final phase of the shoot 'em up. So I had mentioned that we swapped weapon sets. This is going to come into play in a little bit, but effectively all of our movement is tied to the combat like move set rather. And swapping to weapon set 2 gives us the most like versatile movement options that you're going to see. Just going to take out this last.
Specifically, you want to have.
Go ahead.
Specifically, you want to have like a small sword and a heavy attack slot, with which we can also do a damage glitch. So the first attack Percy is going to do in the second here is called a damage glitch. It does 5 times damage a normal heavy attack of the same like animation usually would do. And additionally to that, so the 5 times damage multiplicator. Multiplier, we can also taunt the enemies. You see how they like go red and steam comes out of their head. That happens when Percy flashes the flashlight at them, and that makes them angry, so they both take and deal 50% more damage. And that also multiplies with our damage glitch, so we deal already a lot of damage to them.
And then on top of that, you're going to see here in a second that as we're taking out this first mini-boss, we're going to turn on another melee attack buff, and all of these buffs scale together. So we can just absolutely destroy everything. The devs really put no stops in like balancing the game's damage. Like you're really just given the tools to completely break it. Just with the absurd damage output we have. So now right here we're going.
You can see here as well.
Yeah, we're doing a pod pat, and that is to overlap the dialogue, and we're skipping the dialogue from the operator to save a few seconds.
I'll try to skip. It's pretty difficult, so I don't know if I'll get it.
Yeah, this is the first like geometry clip in the run. There you go.
That tries the charm. There we go.
I think
that's pretty much the most difficult clip in the entire run that only Percy ever goes for, because every other runner seems to think that it's or like considers it too inconsistent and difficult.
I mean, to be fair, I did lose time on it compared to like the other thread, getting it to try, but whatever. So yeah, right now I'm doing the second of the 3 silos, and it's basically a bunch of like combat that is required because we need to pick up some triggers on the way to actually like continue this prologue. We could technically go out of bounds and go to like the ending of the prologue right now, but it just wouldn't continue the game. So we have to like do these combat sections.
Yeah, this game doesn't.
Combat silos are mandatory.
Yeah, this game doesn't really have any sequence breaks. Now here's a very big movement chain. You're going to see another one that we're about to get out of bounds with in a second. But with all the attacks that we're given access to, we can just do high jumps and get up and over a lot of things really quickly in this game. So that's a pod launch. We're once again out of bounds. And we're sort of...
Genuinely, the speed that attack moveset gives us here is really, really versatile at just getting us through walls. If there's some collisions that form small crevices and niche angles or something like that, we can just go right through a lot of the time. And yeah, that's our final combat silo for this prologue section. All of these waves, again, very optimized with the way we are killing them. The cooldown of the pod program is gonna come off in a second here, and that perfectly lines up with the last line of enemies right here that we can also laser. And that's
Poetry in
all
motion.
scripted and completely,
Yeah, poetry in motion is all I
yeah,
can say.
predefined.
I surveyed the entire
That's a good
factory,
saying.
but couldn't find anything
So then
resembling
right
my
here, we're
target.
doing an old strat here. That's like a second slower, but it looks too cool to resist showing off. Boom. That move that gives us a whole lot of forward momentum is a plunge, and that's basically, once again, when you have the little sword in the heavy slot, you do an air dash, heavy attack forward, you just go, like, zooming with it. So you're going to see that in play a lot throughout the rest of the game.
Especially from high places, it's gonna be more evident as to how it works and how fast it will go.
So if one saw wasn't enough, now we have 2 saws as the enemy, but this doesn't really make it much more difficult since we can just threshold it after the first attack. And we can actually place our damage glitches, which is our attack, right into the path of the predetermined attack. And it will actually deal enough damage, so we don't even need to use a buff, because buffing would lose time since you have to open the menu, which pauses the game. So yeah, this
Yeah, and
is
if you do this
actually-
right, you just have this guy thresholded just like this.
Yeah. Oh, he tries to do an attack and he's down.
Now this
So if it's not apparent, the damage glitch, 2B is throwing her sword out in front of her, and it sort of sits there and spins in place. And as it's spinning in place, it is dealing continuous ticks of damage, which is why it's pretty much the our attack of choice throughout the run. So now this is Engels, every top level runner's favorite part of the run. Engels is subject to some very unfortunate randomness. The attacks he does are random, and but fortunately here this section is on a timer. I think it's tied to a music cue actually. So once the song gets to a certain spot, we progress a little bit. Go ahead.
Or you look at the timer and just see if it's 1 minute and 19 seconds, and the cutscene will come up.
Yeah, roughly
Right.
about 19. But right
Yeah,
here,
but it-
And after this cutscene, by the way, there's gonna be the ally 9S will come on in the flight unit, and after that cutscene, the next attack Engels does is the last one he does until he like continues in a different section where he dives and tries to destroy the ground. And that attack matters specifically because there's 2 attacks, specifically the melee ones, so the punches and the slams from overhead,
one he's
that are
doing right
20
now,
seconds
but-
around slower. Specifically, that's what he's doing right now, exactly. These are 20 seconds slower, and because it's not on a timer anymore after the cutscene, he just does 1 attack. We just want to get a fast attack, so ideally we don't get punches or slams after the cutscene right here.
So we'll see what attack
That's
we
it.
got, and we got punches.
well, that was unlucky because we actually had a good setup getting the other attack, the other long attack
Yeah.
before, which he couldn't do again. But if
I
you
wanted
like,
to point out that you were attacking it not for the damage, but for the hit lag to slow it down even more. What we wanted to happen was ending the slow attack as we transition into this phase, because he won't do the same attack back to back.
so usually
There's
this,
also a threshold you have to hit, in fact, but
usually this would
it's
kill the
usually not
run.
an issue.
Nowadays, like if I would go for a PB, I would reset here because it looks like 20 seconds. But of course, we're not gonna reset here. It's still fine. We can still get a decent time. We still easily make estimate. So we'll continue. And also, like something I wanted to point out was during the combat before 9S showed up. So before the cutscene played, I was also like aside from the combat, I was also using my pod to slow down the game like drastically, like 2 times or something. I don't know the exact multiplicator, but basically what we are doing is using our pod program, and we just hold it instead of shooting it. And while you're holding it, it slows down the game, and we can actually cycle that after like 2 seconds by canceling it with pod fire, and then just using it again. And basically, that's a really important
You
mechanic.
could just show it off as well.
I could. It would lose me time,
Technically,
but
just-
I'll do it in a second. Okay.
You'll see it throughout the run. You'll see it throughout the run.
Yeah, I'll lose
But
it.
effect,
We'll
in,
see it,
in
but
essence, the pod program slows the game around 2B.
9S!
It's pretty much the charge up phase of the pod program and gives you time to aim, I think, is the intent by the developers. It just happens to have the side effect that we can completely stun lock certain things if we slow while attacking it as well.
So then up here we're gonna go for a trick called Shengels, and we hit it just
And
like
it
that.
works, obviously.
Very
100%
particular.
consistent.
It
100%
totally does every time.
Oh, you don't even slow-mo these guys. That's right. Oh, there you go.
I kind of messed it up, but whatever.
9S.
There will be like a lot better examples for slow motion. Like I'll use it a lot more.
Yeah, we use slow-mo a lot in this run to mitigate like enemy RNG as we move through the overworld later on. So now this is the pretty much the final phase of prologue. This is more or less on a timer. We go around the back here because he doesn't do he does the faster attacks whenever we're behind him. You're gonna notice
Specifically, the attacks is supposed to line up at the end of the dialogue. Sorry if I just take over here. There's just basically a line at the end of it where after this line, the next attack he will do, after the line of dialogue, I mean, the next attack he will do will punch you away like a cutscene where 2B gets thrown away pretty far, and that progresses the sequence, and basically the next attack you start after the dialogue will trigger that. So we want the dialogue to line up with him ending an attack ideally, and we can pause buffer to make that line up better, since the pausing of the shortcut menu we open for that doesn't really pause the dialogue immediately, but it does pause his attack. So we didn't need that here, but it would usually be the strategy.
Yeah, I got lucky. Usually you would use that mechanic that Icarus just explained a lot, but this time it actually lined up perfectly. I intentionally got hit by the shockwave, because once you get hit by the shockwave, you get knocked back and you can't do another shockwave, and then you get like a attack that's like roughly the length you need. But that section is really like, you just need to play the game a lot to like get used to like what you have to do.
Right.
Oh, that's.
I will just use a buff for a melee attack and quickly dash cancel the light attack into another one to, or just get the double hit, I guess.
Perfectly consistent, by the way.
It's a specific timing to cancel your attack at, and it will basically collide with the hitbox twice in some way. It has a really specific timing. It's impressive Percy was able to pull that off, actually. So.
But that was prologue done.
Very nicely done.
Under 14 minutes. Very well done.
Thank you. Despite getting punches, so it's like still a decent run, I guess.
Yeah, bro, you're pacing. So now we'll talk about the premise of the game. So we are like, I don't know, like 10,000 years in the future, and humanity's been pushed to the stars because aliens invaded Earth or something like that. And so we are the task force responsible for liberating Earth, so humans can one day hopefully come back. So now we're kind of in a little bit of a fourth wall break here, as 9S guides us through our quote-unquote boot up, which is our in-game settings. So we set our brightness, turn up the voice volume, and most importantly, we do self-destruct. Self-destruct is maybe one of the most useful buttons we have in our kits, because it gives us access to an immediate animation cancel / reset. You're going to see that factored in like throughout the run. So we're just going to walk.
Self-destruct is such a nice tool in general, because it's not only for canceling certain animations. You can just, I mean, primarily it cancels animations, but it can do so many things throughout the run, and you will see that throughout this entire presentation.
Like right there, self-destruct to dead stop us so we can talk to 9S, and then we overlap the dialogue with him there to cancel more dialogue. Text on the screen will actually cancel out spoken dialogue, so that's going to be something that we'll just see throughout the rest of this run. So now we talk to the commander. Commander has given us our objective. We are to go down to Earth and meet up with the resistance camp leader, right?
9S did the pinball move to lose time on the doors.
Pretty much.
Unlucky.
He sometimes doesn't like to get into the elevator. That's sort of the running gag in the speedrun community, where we all don't like 9S because he keeps losing us time with stuff like that.
Yeah. It sucks that he's our ally, but we'll have to take it, I guess.
So now an interesting thing is the game would normally give us our tutorial for the pod program in the flight unit, but we just have access to it immediately. So we're just going to pop it off just like that.
Yeah, this dialogue right here is what he meant.
Yeah, now we're being told about the button we just pressed. So now once again, just like pretty much every shoot 'em up, we're just sort of going through the motions, killing enemies as optimally as we can. We go into the twin stick mode. These guys come in, we do a heavy attack, and that wipes them all out. And then we just kill these enemies off screen, because you can kill the enemies before they come on screen.
Oh my god, no. Well, I messed up the instant kill on the first guy, and we got double spinner. Well, it's not ideal, but honestly, my bad.
Oh, it's unlucky that you got 2 double spinners. But you're good.
One should usually not matter when the pod program is timed correctly. He will die before he gets his attack off at all. But with a delay of the attack, it will not work anymore. Like if the pod program doesn't come out the perfect timing, which unfortunately happened here. Maybe we can talk about movement in a bit.
Sure.
Now,
So
movement in a bit. Because in Prologue we've done only dash chaining so far. And Percy, you want to take over?
yeah, I can do that. So I'll just get this cutscene right here. This is one of many discovery cutscenes. I dash punched into it to avoid the slow walk that you would usually get. So basically it saves a few seconds each time you do it. But you see right now, I'm not dash chaining anymore, and that's because now my inventory, like my weapons are like cleared up, at least on this slot. And I can actually do a dash at the end. I do a punch, which actually puts me forward a bit. And it's faster than dash chaining, which is the main reason why we do it. But you can also use it for spacing, I guess.
It's pretty weird.
I think dash punching remains theoretically the fastest movement tech for a good while now, right?
True, yeah.
Theoretically, yes, but probably in actuality, as long as we get our sword upgraded, which will happen after these fetch quests, with the upgraded sword, the attack speed will increase as a side effect or as a passive effect of our main weapon here, which will make it so our attacks are fast enough with the sword, so the dash swings we can do, like the running heavy attacks with our sword, are actually as fast as dash punching roughly, with dash punching technically still being slightly faster, but we'll have more spacing options that are the same speed as the dash punches we're doing right now afterwards.
Yeah, these quests that I'm doing right now are the only quests we're doing in this run. These are mandatory for like the main story, I guess, and they just try to teach you the quests, I guess.
Yeah, it's introducing us.
They're pretty much a tutorial for the side quests.
Yeah.
Question have anything to do with our operation?
But they
I
are.
have to pick up a few items here and then walk over to kill some enemies.
Yeah,
And the enemies are specific to only aggro if they have the quest items, as long as they're not attacked directly. So you will notice Percy will shoot here in a bit at the medium biped, and only the ones that have the quest items will actually aggro to the pod fire nearby, and the ones that don't have the quest items will not aggro, because there's more enemies than have quest items, and we just get all the items immediately.
That was
because
really good.
Those are the ones that aggroed to our pod fire. That was really good enemies, yeah.
So yeah, as mentioned before, these are 100% just fetch quests. We just go get them, go grab the things, and then circle back. And we just have this routed out optimally. So we go get the one, go do the other, and then we come back. And this is the last one. This is another fourth wall break. This woman sort of gives you like in-game hints, and she'll also mess with your settings if there's like if the camera's too like making you sick or something. They actually have like a motion sickness preset that you can use.
Now from this guy we get from the quest rewards the upgrade materials for our sword. So in a second after we accept the next main quest of going to the desert, we can stop by this weapon trader and upgrade our sword to level 2. And this is what I was talking about earlier with the attack speed. Now that Virtuous Contract, our main weapon, is upgraded to level 2, we have a higher attack speed stat, which allows us to dash swing like Percy's doing right now, this spinny attack motion that's now around as fast as the dash punch as we were doing earlier.
Yeah, it's much
So
more
we can use them for
comfortable.
different spacings. It's more comfortable, and it's also like the strides of it go slightly longer than the dash punches. So we have different distances we can travel now with our movement intervals, if you will, to space out our movement better.
So circling back to the story, Anemone, the resistance camp leader, has told us to go check on some convoy or something that they lost touch with in the desert. So that's where we're off to now.
Also, right now you can see me like positioning a camera awkwardly, like looking to the right. That's because like our movement is basically all like attacks, and attacks like to lock onto enemies because of combat. So we don't actually want to look at them to avoid going towards them. So yeah, that's why.
The also lock-on is pretty strong in this game, yes.
So we're grabbing
It likes
some
to
buffs.
pull you towards.
We're having some heals and buffs and some other items that we're going to use later from this guy. And we're also grabbing this transporter because we actually do need this transporter later. We're doing another heavy hold clip to get out of bounds real fast.
Picture from this.
And then we're this out of bounds. I always think is interesting because we go out of bounds just so we have a straighter path to our objective. Like there's no triggers along the way.
Also, mind the invisible hole in the invisible ground out of bounds there that first you just went over with the dash punch nobody saw. It's a bit tricky to not get caught up in that.
Well, how are you supposed to see
things
it
we have to put up with?
Yeah, it's actually cave system underneath. Underneath that out of bounds, so if you're like not careful, you can fall through the hole, and yeah, you're in trouble. But luckily, we know how to avoid it. And it's not like a huge hole.
So you can see we're out of bounds again here. That's to avoid the discovery cutscene for the desert. Earlier we did an attack into the cutscene to avoid the slow walk, but here we can avoid the discovery cutscene entirely by just clipping out of the barrier like way before there, where usually Jackass will blow that up. If you play the game casually, you might know this, which is also slower than just going out of bounds, and we just stay out of bounds there longer to avoid the discovery cutscene altogether. And this pot here we pick up is also a really useful addition to our arsenal of tools, I guess.
Yeah, it can do this.
Because it allows us to do...
You can shoot missiles, but you don't
have a different attack, yes. The main thing about it is that we get an additional pod program. So usually if you shoot your laser with a pod, that's one pod program, and with the second pod, it's pod C, we can shoot another laser, and then because there's a glitch, we can even shoot a third laser if we double charge one time and then just shoot once.
Speaking of lasers,
those flyers are important.
We are killing those flyers because they have a chance to drop an item that we need that is actually guaranteed on the category that we're playing right now, which is VC3 mod.
Yeah, it's really rare to get the chips, so that would really be like the make or break of this run. Like if you don't get the chip, you reset the run, which is unfortunate. But luckily we have the mod.
Reset point for sure.
Luckily we have the mod, is what I meant. But yeah, now big Sandslide, because we didn't talk about it before, it actually is really, really fast, and we like to use it, but it's all exclusive to the desert because of sand, obviously. And if you like actually take like a good route, you can get like a really long Sandslide.
The physics are rather specific. You want to take a very specific line to have a perfect slope angle to, for some reason, get the most speed. It's a bit finicky, but it just comes with a bit of practice, I'd say. We're already out of bounds again. Normally you would chase this robot called Don around the desert housing complex, but we don't do that. We just head straight to the pit. We fight the the next boss in, I guess, because we don't need to hit all of the checkpoints. We will just find the robot we're chasing in the pit if we just go there directly. Just hitting a trigger here, the minimap changes, and now we're plunging down to the boss pit and
over
the weapon sets.
Use a buff. We're gonna swap our weapon set 1 so it's the same as 2, and we're equipping.
We got a lot of chips actually.
The chances for this are so unlikely, but yeah, I won't go more into detail on this right now because there's too much happening.
This is actually
with the weapon switch we just did, right? This robot is if this robot is killed, the auto scroller will start. That triggers the boss fight in a bit. So that was killed in the cutscene. You can throw a damage glitch before the cutscene plays, and it will actually stay there. And for some reason, the robot can take damage in the cutscene, so it will kill him during the cutscene. That's why the camera bugged out like that.
Yeah,
it just goes to the 0-0 coordinates if that happens.
Exactly. It just doesn't know what to do, so it resets, and we just see a bunch of nothing out of bounds, which is pretty funny, but it does save time, so it's a nice addition. Oh my god, I don't want to die here.
Yeah, so this...
also what Percy did earlier in the menu, he was equipping the other weapon. So basically the same sword, we just equipped it on the heavy slot on the second weapon set now, which means we can switch weapon sets and throw a second DG with the same weapon, but it's in a different set, so it can be 2 instances of the same weapon. Effectively pretty much doubling our damage from now on because we can double damage glitch instead of just throwing one out at the same time.
Which you're going to see here in a second. This is Autumn 1. So we're taunting him as we go into the second phase, and then we're going to DG, buff, and then slow-mo. Sorry, DDG.
Which stands for double damage glitch, what I just explained, yeah.
Yeah, so we just did so much damage to him that we skipped an entire phase of his fights, pretty much. So he skipped right to the range section, and now he's down below and we're on the final phase here.
Just 2 more DGs.
This is just a good demonstration of how much damage you deal in this game, especially with the Pump +2 chip that is guaranteed from the flyer. Plus, damage glitches and taunt, like.
Do we specifically explain the effect of taunt plus 2 chips, or do we go over that for now?
It's okay. It's literally just taunting, but like stronger.
Yeah, as I explained earlier, with the flashlight and the enemies getting angry, remember it increases the enemy the damage they take and deal. So we also deal more damage to them if we do it. And the taunting just got increased from a 50% damage increase to a 140% damage increase by that specific plug-in chip. So it's really, really huge for damage output in the run. That's also why it makes such a difference for the speedrun, if we get it or not. And it would be such a reset in vanilla. So right here we're going out of bounds through a hole in the wall outside and jumping under the map onto this invisible ground next to the map. This is to hit like the save circle of the transporter we activated earlier, because we can just save at it from here and then load to it, which gets around a dialogue that would usually happen if we just went there inbounds, which would also prevent us from accessing the transporter or like saving at all. So by just warping there with the save load, we save a lot of time by doing that out of bounds.
Yeah, it's interesting that transport has such a wide like save radius, and I'm pretty sure the reason for that is so as you're going through the caves and it says, oh, we're in signal range of the bunker, and they wanted the save icon at the top right of the screen to appear at the same time. Is my theory at least. But
which is ironically also the dialogue that would have prevented us from saving in the first place, which is the reason we got out of bounds there.
yeah, kind of funny how
So
that
now we're
works out.
going over to the amusement park, which is the destination Commander gives us right here in this video call, I guess. And she tells us about some Yorha androids that have gone missing, but their black boxes are being picked up still, so we're supposed to find out what happened to them. And that's just the coordinates we're sent to.
Oh look, there's a barricade. Oh, actually, I messed
up
up
and over.
Yeah, but I'm still backtracking here because, of course, the game has to put triggers, so you can't get the maximum time save out of bounds sections. But now we're fine. It still saves time.
Yeah, so we dropped down that ladder to hit the progression trigger that we need, and now we're gonna come up and over this discovery cutscene trigger.
What are those?
If you're wondering how I got so much height there, it's basically because of a trick called double lift. You have to like walk up a slope and then do a lift attack, which is the jump and then heavy. And if you do it correctly, you'll get another like a jump reset, and it basically allows you to do another lift. And that allows for like huge air time, basically, really high jumps.
Yeah, this game has such a vast
now,
palette of like movement options that you wouldn't really expect from a game that looks like this.
It really does. Right now we're out of bounds to get around some more triggers that would trigger cutscenes of the main building we're supposed to go to. Triggering the roller coaster, actually. And we don't want to get stuck on it, so we just barely touch the area on top of it. So the coaster thinks, oh no, the player's on top, we can start going around. But we're not on the coaster, actually. We just touched the trigger and then got off. And now we have time exactly as long as the coaster takes to go around the track and reach the boss room of this area. And because the triggers are all set up now, we hit them out of bounds as well. So the game thinks, again, we're on the coaster, and as soon as the coaster reaches the boss fight, we just get teleported there automatically. So while that's happening, we have downtime we can use to acquire two things. First, we'll do a high jump here to pick up this small chest. There's a small recovery here, which we need to like minimally heal later in preparation for a death warp, as well as continuing out of bounds here in order to pick up a spear, which is going to be really important in just a bit when we get more movement options with spear dashing, which we'll see later, as well as the spear is a very versatile tool for just general some area movement things and also just clipping out of bounds. With a light attacks of a spear, you can get a lot of clips through some walls in certain collision areas. And we also changed our partner there. And now the cutscene hits because the coaster reaches destination and the boss fight can start.
Alright, you pretty much summed it up. There's gonna be a lot of usage of the spear, some out of bounds spear dashing. You'll all see it later, like explaining it now is probably gonna be too complicated, but we'll use it a lot, so don't worry about it right now. But first, we'll take care of this boss. We actually have enough damage to not have to use a buff. Okay, that was close actually. We don't want to get hit here because he can die really quickly.
Isn't there a point where you can do so much damage that you'll get an additional attack?
Yeah, if you have thresholder before a first attack, she'll do a random attack, which is often a longer one, so you don't want to do that.
And then this is how the game illustrates getting hacked, is these little shoot 'em up mini games. So then in this next section, there's actually going to be like hijacked androids that are all trying to hack us together, and we want to avoid getting hit by that because each time we have to do that mini game, that's like 5 to 6 seconds lost. So we're gonna hopefully go over here and nuke these guys with the laser, swap to the third laser, nuke the back row, and then we're gonna do melee buff, range buff, and then just clear them out. We have to clear these guys out before we can get Boulevard on the final phase, just like so. So we're thresholding
Was a really
her on
clean-
the way down. Yeah, this is like masterfully done. I can't understate
kill
that.
of all the androids. And we just take out these few androids that just drop down so they don't get in our way or even hack us. And then we'll equip the spear we just got earlier, as well as buff from this menu, just because we already need to open it to switch the weapon set. And I will set us up for the next clip that's coming up, the out of bounds after this boss fight, and the movement. Now we self-destruct here as well to get down to 1 health, which will happen if we self-destruct. In preparation of the death warp I mentioned before, we want to heal with a small recovery only for this, which we need to do because we need to be above 1 HP in order to be able to hit the self-destruct button, which we'll need for this movement here. This is spear dashing. Basically, spear dashing is the combo attack of the spear and the small sword, but if we don't let that attack finish, but just cancel it with SD and press heavy again, it will just infinitely loop this combo attack. And because this combo attack has a part where it goes forward really quickly, like you can see on screen, it can just be chained together indefinitely for really quick movement.
Also, the skip I did right after the boss fight, basically, I don't know if you mentioned it before, but it's called door skip. And what I was doing was the doors are opening because the boss fight's over, basically. But we can slow the game down with our pod program to make the door open slower, and then we can actually get behind it and then flip through the door and get out of bounds and skip a trigger. It saves like 10 seconds, 10 plus seconds, which is really cool actually.
Well, there are a few theories about that.
There's too much to talk about in this game, to be honest with you. But yeah, so we're just spear dashing our way down to Pascal's village. Basically, what's happening is we were met by a docile machine that wanted us to come back and meet the leader of this village. Pascal says that they aren't the enemy; they're a peaceful race, and they actually have an alliance with the Resistance. And to prove that, we're basically running an errand back for Pascal all the way back to the Resistance camp. And as was mentioned, spear dashing is basically we're just using self-destruct over and over again to loop this attack combo that pushes us forward. And this is like highway speeds on foot levels of loop.
Oh, we got a boar.
And we got
really
a
good.
boar, yes.
So what this is, we just picking up an animal basically from the bait we bought earlier at the desert camp trader. We're taking this boar all the way to the Resistance camp in order to deliver the errand from Pascal, and afterwards we'll just use the same boar to get us killed, which is why we set up the low health earlier. Since we saved at the transporter at Pascal's village, but we don't have fast travel yet, we can just respawn at that transporter. And we upon death in this game, you will lose your experience and plug-in chips, but you will not lose your quest items or anything else, so we can just get there really quickly with that. And since we picked up taunt chips earlier, we equipped, right? We will lose our chips, but we got a second taunt chip because of cutscenes, which is a general glitch in this game that hasn't been explained yet either. If a cutscene plays and there's items on the ground, these items will actually get duplicated and picked up for us. So normally the game was supposed to probably just pick up the items and give them to us if the cutscene plays and the player wasn't able to pick them up in time. But for some reason it gives us the items twice. That's why we would get 2 taunt chips from the Desert Flyers, and we can just use one here that just stays on the ground after we die to the boar.
Now after the death warp, we come out of here and we pot fire to cancel the conversation with Pascal here. So we just go right up and then turn in the quest effectively. And now right there, that's a quick little clip out of here that Percy actually found himself. And you'll see that one once again later on. But we're hearing a big rumbling, and apparently the whole city ruins is under attack, and we need to go into the flight units to deal with the big problem. Do you want to talk about the movement through here?
Sure. I mean, I don't remember exactly what I want to talk about here because it's straightforward, just speed dashing, but we actually want to like take a direct line towards the Goliath because we need to climb the tallest building, or the highest building, I guess, in the city to get to the flight units. And we also want to use these 3 routes that you can see like over here to go up and get some plunges, which we haven't explained yet. It's this 45-degree angle, like attack downwards, like this one. It's really fast, and we can use height to like get a lot of distance from it. And yeah, basically we're almost at the building now. And ideally,
Pretty much the fastest movement in the game you can do, I guess. Plunges.
true, it's really, really fast.
If you're high up.
Also, this boss fight it's 2 enemies, the same ones as in prologue. But ideally, these ones should not take as long as in prologue. So let's see how I can skip the first one.
Yeah, coming up.
I will let you focus, Percy, to explain this. So actually, we do want to go ahead.
Yeah, this is a one-try trick. We basically have like some wonky collision right here. We're kind of trying to clip right through. Yeah, there you go. Beautifully done. You high jump that?
I did a high jump because I messed up the. You can jump through a hole there and then like avoid the high jump, but I messed.
Okay, I've never seen that back up before, so that's.
Yeah, some people will also go for a double lift there, but I don't know. Personally, I also prefer this high jump specifically because the slope is kind of awkward, especially when Angles tries to melee attack you. Coming up here, there's a specific positioning we can use to make all the missiles of our pod program hit Angles with the range buff. And then we use a different pod as well, the second one, and that will basically immediately nuke this guy.
Yeah, pretty difficult boss fight right here. They definitely had a lot to say in this conversation.
Moving right along.
Also, if you're wondering why there's a huge hole in the ground now, there's a cutscene we skipped, and basically the ground collapsed, and now there's aliens suddenly underground that we want to investigate that. That's basically what's happening, but there's a really big skip coming up right now, so there's a lot to talk about. So why don't you go ahead and explain what's happening right now?
So
Yeah, you wanted to explain Skype, Ashley, so go ahead, I would say.
yeah. So you see how there's a video call on the screen right now? Every time one of these starts and stops, there's a ring. And if you have one of these up and you hit like a certain kind of progression trigger that plays dialogue, like this one here, that puts us into a glitch state that we call Skype glitch. Because from now on until we restart the game, every time one of those starts, it skips the ring. So throughout the run, that saves like 40 seconds or something like that. And that's just a thing that everyone that runs this game understands, that once you get to this part of the run, if you have to reset, you need to relaunch your game, unfortunately. But now we're coming back up and we're going once again back over to the amusement park, and this is just set up a glitch called EDS. So basically we're going to come over here and talk to this guy who wants to give us a quest.
Oh, this is the good bit now.
We're going to kill him with the dialogue on screen. We're going to progress it exactly once, and then Percy's going to switch over to the keyboard, I believe, and jumping with spacebar to avoid skipping through the dialogue. So now he's going to come over here.
Trigger in this tunnel here.
Yeah, this
was
unfortunate that we hit the ground here, but
there's a trick where you can like basically hit the trigger from underneath and then void out and then do another plunge down, which I was trying to do, but I messed up the angle of my first plunge attack. But it's fine. You can still do the main trick.
Yeah, we still got the trick.
Yeah, and if you're wondering why we're watching this cutscene, obviously this loses time, right? But the big point of this is the next fight that's coming up is basically a long dialogue, and if we keep this dialogue open, it literally cannot play the dialogue, so it skips the entire fight. And yeah, but if we skip the cutscene, the dialogue's gone. So that's the trade-off, I guess. You lose some time from the cutscene.
Essentially, this fight is just one long dialogue. And since 2 dialogues just don't like each other, they just cancel out.
So these guys had even less to say than City Angles just now, but it's fine for us. It's faster. Before this trick was found by Aloyark, we actually had to do the fight, and
this way again?
Yeah, basically we killed Eve once, and then we just left the area because by killing him gives you 1 level, which is really nice. Which we're obviously missing now, but it's not a big deal.
Now we need to get this chest afterwards at this point. We don't get it during the fight anymore. Because the titanium alloy from that chest is really important. It's an upgrade material for our weapon. And the last one we needed, so in a second here we can upgrade our weapon even further, which is pretty important because it only improves our damage for all further fights, but also adds another stage of that movement speed increase we got from the first level up of the sword already, which will both increase our spear dash speed and also dash swing speed, I guess.
Yeah.
For the next parts of the game.
So now we actually unlocked fast travel, which is really useful, and we'll be using a lot to travel from area to area.
Once you kind of really need fast travel, the game gives it to you.
Alright, do you want to talk about dialogue cancel? I don't think you have brought it up yet. There's like more examples still about...
Yeah, that was a partner dialogue cancel. Basically, once again, if you have dialogue on screen and then spoken dialogue comes later, the dialogue on screen, they will cancel each other out, basically, which is, you saw it just now, you saw it again in EDS, you'll see it throughout the run. It's pretty much just a...
Yeah, you'll see it soon in the commercial facility. Right now we're doing the last bite of the run.
We are basically setting ourselves up for the rest of the game. We're selling the small buffs we don't need. We're also selling our most expensive resources that we picked up, and we're also selling
as well as some system chips. Yeah,
we're selling elements of our HUD that we don't need, and now we're grabbing large buffs that will pretty much set up for the rest of the run, game, pretty much. And then once again, this is where we're upgrading our weapon to VC3, hence the name of the mod, VC3 mod. The mats that you need for that are effectively guaranteed, thankfully. And
did you guys see what chip I got from Buvar? Because there's one chip we pick up right after the Buvar fight, and I keep forgetting to check it because we actually can use it. It's really useful for some sections, but this time I didn't check.
I wasn't paying attention to chip.
I got shockwaves. I saw that much, and shockwaves are not good.
I did see that, yeah.
They're basically useless for our speedrun here.
So while VC3 mod does remove most of the toxic RNG, it does not remove all of the RNG. Like, not even drops that you get are fixed completely. So yeah, there's still a fair bit of variety and skill between different runs. So here we're doing another partner dialogue cancel. Tucking down, walking forward, and then just like that starts the fight immediately. And now we are equipping our ships earlier.
Oh, that's rough.
And
but
we're cooked.
Okay.
Yeah, we just.
I'd rather not use the shock pin at all. I don't know. I feel like it gives you bad luck.
Check this guy.
Oh, destroy him. Okay.
I don't know. I also don't like shockwave usually. It's a bit weird to hit stuff randomly sometimes with it that you don't even intend to do.
Yeah, that's kind of why I avoid equipping it. So that last enemy we killed is actually an interesting cameo of Emil from the OG NieR, which kind of doesn't really make a whole lot of sense where it is in this game, but I mean, if you know, you know.
Also coming up to the pretty much most difficult ground movement section in the entire game. The forest part has some really weird ground terrain, and with spear dashing you really don't want to get airborne off of your spear dashes because it will give you an aerial heavy attack instead of a spear dash. So it's quite challenging to traverse this terrain with the movement tech we use. But first he will probably masterfully handle this like he usually does. And going over these rocks, doing some specific movements to weave through these specific collisions of the ground.
Yeah, if you're registered as
in the most efficient
while
way,
you're spear dashing, that completely breaks the combo. So being able to maneuver those little pitfalls and whatnot, just the way that he does so seamlessly is really, really impressive.
Also, we'll just jump straight to the castle here because going around the long way is kind of slow, and since we have some pretty insane air movement we can do with all the different combinations of attacks and moves we have, we can just jump straight across.
Oh my god, that can't be.
We also had out of bounds again immediately, pretty much. So on this route we can just spear dash through the wall, and that makes us able to go out of bounds here again and just climb the castle from the outside, which is a lot faster than traversing this entire 2D side-scroller level you might remember from casually playing the game.
Are you gonna grab the save?
No.
All right, not even going for the safety save. Hell yeah.
I don't die in this. I only die on hard.
Not a hard run, I think.
It's not a hard
He hasn't
run.
died.
I would have noticed
He
if it
hasn't
was a
died.
hard run.
Okay. So then right here, we're just gonna
That's a-
heavy hold right into the slow walk, and then that gets us right into this fight with A2 immediately.
That's
A2 is actually
Yeah, the ad break is coming up soon. I just wanted to mention it for production, I guess. I'll
Yep.
say it in before.
Yeah, whenever you're ready for break, just let us know.
why?
Let's go, 9S.
To be?
So we taunt A2 right before the fight actually starts because you can actually taunt her in that little cutscene. And then because Percy's just a god at this game, he's completely stun-locked A2 here. And boom, the fight.
I mean, it's partially luck, but I'll take the credit. Thank you.
I mean, you have a bear kit and you did that like masterfully, all right? I think some
The combination of double damage glitch and slow-moing is really strong in order to just stun lock enemies
So
completely almost. If it goes right.
So
But
basically, I'm using a transporter right now. I'll go to Pascal's village for like 30 seconds and use another transporter into loading screen, and then we can do the ad break. So like in roughly 30 seconds, I would say. I'll count it down or whatever. I'll just say now and pause the game, I guess.
Yeah, so for reference for the audience, anytime we have a run that's over about an hour 15, hour 20, we want to make sure that we give everyone an opportunity to take a quick break, stretch, grab some water, use the restroom, anything and everything you need. So especially for ourselves in the studio, our runners, but also you at home. Don't forget to pet your dog, cat, whatever you got as well. But as we get set up for that and we're waiting to hit the break point, I do want to let everyone know that breaks are a great time to check out some of the other stuff we have going on at GDQ. So if you're interested in getting more involved with the GDQ community, you can use this break to join the GDQ Discord, which you can add the hotfix role and stay in the loop on upcoming events and more like PAX East coming up later this week. So use !Discord in chat. I'll throw that down there to get a link and check that out while we take a quick break. But otherwise, we will be back in just a few minutes with the exciting conclusion of NieR Automata Ending A. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Perilous Paths here on GDQ Hotfix. We are in the middle of a any % NieR Automata run. And if you missed the first half of this run, or you're interested in catching up on any of our GDQ Hotfix shows and events, you can always go to youtube.com/gamesdonequick to see anything that you've missed out on. And if you're in the future and you're watching this on YouTube in like a week or something, consider liking, subscribing, or becoming a channel member to help support GDQ while you're there. But without any further ado, whenever you are ready, give us a countdown. We'll get right back into the run.
All right, sounds good. Let's continue in 3, 2, 1, go.
Huh? It's not recommended.
All right. Hope my hands are not cold now. They shouldn't be. Basically,
we
now
went over to the
Oh yeah,
went over the
just keep
jukebox to
going.
cancel the dialogue there, and now Anemone is giving us our next mission, which is to go over to the flooded city to check on some airstrike missiles or whatever. But you'll see we just went right back out of bounds into the backyard of the resistance camp, dropped down and flown back up into the discovery cutscene for the flooded city. Huge skip, and then once again we're gonna do a void out and go back down and hit this drown trigger, which warps us right to the gated like combat fight for the next quest step, as it were. Pretty huge skip
yeah.
there.
Next we'll just have to quickly take care of these enemies on the beach here. There's just these 3 melee enemies and then the flyer we have to kill, as well as some stubbies. And since we warped here and we didn't go here all the way around on land, there's a trigger on the rooftop, like back in the route we were supposed to come from, right here. And that gets rid of a dialogue, as would basically be saying right now. And that makes it so the fight units spawn immediately and we don't have to wait for the dialogue of command talking to us or something and ordering us to go out and protect some airship carrier.
Now it's the most exciting part of the run. Unfortunately, that was not true. It was just sarcasm. Yeah, this is a long auto-scroller, but we have to get through it. Maybe if you see it for the first time, it actually looks cool. Hopefully it does. But actually, this part is still like, it still matters, like how fast you clear the enemies. So that's still like interesting, I guess.
Yeah, right now it's a shmup. It's basically what we did in Prologue, and coming out of bunker to Speedruns for the first time. All of these enemies are fed waves, and we want to kill each wave as fast as possible or progress the shoot 'em up section and not lose time on it, which is definitely possible. After the shoot 'em up though, there's gonna be just a full-on auto-scroller where you don't have any control. You can just kill some enemies for EXP while we're there, but not much else to do in order to speed it up, unfortunately. So for some reason you'll have to kill that top right wave, so you will see that these enemies are still alive, but
That's like
the map already progresses.
That's like a recurring theme, isn't it? Like the top right, you don't have to kill.
True, actually. I never thought about
It's true, and in the prologue shmup is also the top right wave that you don't have to kill in the 1-1. You're correct.
Maybe they're sending a
But yeah,
message.
so yeah, once we're here, we are effectively on a timer. There's like not really anything we can do to speed this up or slow it down, really. It is worth mentioning, though, that with this being a JRPG and us skipping so much content, we are actually quite underleveled throughout the late game, especially. You don't really see it in the shmups because in shmups the enemies are always scripted to match your level. But you'll notice, like I think the next enemies we fight, like we're level 12 right now, and the next enemies we fight are going to be like level 18 and higher. So even though we do have manipulations to like stop enemies from spawning here so we can effectively just like take a break or just chill out or whatever, we actually don't want to do that. We want to be able to kill every single enemy here just so we have like every last bit of XP that we can get.
Especially because you have to fight for the XP as well. As you can see, 9S, our ally, is also constantly shooting, and for some reason whenever he kills something we don't get the XP from all that. We only get the XP for things we actually kill ourselves, and this big Goliath flyer is a little boss fight, I guess, so this is actually relevant as to how fast we kill this. And at the same time, we personally want to get the XP from the kill, so we really want to do the final damage. So with the cycle here, we just do 2 pod programs, then do melee attacks while they're on cooldown with buffs up, and in a second, once the programs come off cooldown, we want to finish this flyer off with our pod programs and secure the kill for ourselves, so Ines doesn't steal our experience, which is a lot for this specific enemy.
Yeah, you're gonna be like a level down for most of the run if you don't get this final like hit, which is really sad
Just get a level up
sometimes.
from it.
Yeah, I did get it.
If it's that big, we should be able to see it.
Yeah, case in point right there.
So yeah, this is the big enemy that takes us forever in this section, but yeah.
Our resident disco whale.
It is what it is. We would like to take a moment to shout out like a pretty recent development for the speedrunning community. Ame and another modder named Blurry worked together on a mod that basically skips all of the auto-scroller sections of the run. I don't think it's an official category yet, but it's probably going to be in the near future. But huge shouts out to them. Like, NieR Automata community modding has low-key gotten like popped off in the past couple of years. Like there's actually like a multiplayer
It's gotten so good.
PvP mod now. Like it's kind of unbelievable how far we've come. Another thing is, in the past when we've shown this game off at marathons, we've put an epilepsy warning because of the self-destruct visuals dimming the screen. And very recently they found a mod that actually stops the self-destruct from dimming the screen, so we don't really have to put the epilepsy warning up anymore. So it's just huge, awesome work. Like huge shout out to Blurry and Jasper and everyone else involved.
Yeah, so if you want to run the A ending now in this game with the time being down to just under an hour and it's in like the top level play, I would say, without the auto scrollers, then that's possible now. Other than that, yeah, this is the part we are stuck in now for a good bit of time.
Because we don't do that, we're stuck here.
The upside is we still get a decent amount of XP for free, and we can like relax a bit because usually this part is really consistent. Except for a few cores we're gonna kill, they can sometimes troll a bit and then give you extra rotations, which is fine, but hopefully we won't see that in this one. But yeah, seems like our XP is good since we got a decent fight in the desert, and we also didn't lose the XP from the Goliath bio just now. So yeah,
I used to be a grunt hater, and now I've grown to become a grunt enjoyer.
Oh wait, really? Another one.
That's a really rare transition.
That's a really rare transition.
Opinion.
As I grinded more, I came to savor though like less intensive break of this section. But yeah, so these are the cores that we're talking about. You can't actually lose time here. We want to hit this thing 4 times and then go up and hit the second one. There's 4 of them and they will rotate on a queue. So if you're slow, there's actually a fair bit of RNG that comes into play, but since we're just kind of clearing them out one by one, and then we finish it off in the middle with programs.
I've never seen this, but Nina literally pushed me away, so it wasn't as close. I don't think it made a big difference.
That's really unfortunate.
Yeah.
Cost a few seconds though, I think.
Maybe I'm just complaining for no reason. It doesn't lose that much.
I don't know. Maybe the pod program mostly connected still, but
Okay, this is a bit bugged now. I think it was because we got Skype glitch and the waves are a bit accelerated now because some of the data is not playing at the right time, but I'm not exactly sure. I think you had an explanation for this at some point, Icarus.
Are you Yorha?
It's
yes, it was specifically because of the Skype glitch we talked earlier about. It happened to me in my 100% run that my game crashed randomly, so I had to restart it, and I didn't have Skype glitch for this part, and then I realized that the enemies actually spawn normally, and this wave works as intended if you don't have Skype glitch, so that makes the difference.
So yeah, there's one part where we're actually not like directly fighting this guy, and it's coming up right now. We have a big cannon that's conveniently aimed perfectly like at Grun in the middle of nowhere, but we'll take it, I guess.
And in the sci-fi world full of robots, you need a human or humanoid operator to fire the gun that's pointed at the enemy.
This rail cannon unit, as it says in the top right corner.
Yeah, we can use the dialogue lineup to hit the shots as soon as possible.
Let's try for a more direct approach.
Right now.
Are you a direct or an approach?
It's like approach at the end of it. Shout out to Aloyag, by the way. I think he found it.
As a lot of things.
Yeah, that's I didn't mention everything for sure.
Yeah, Aloyark's my goat for sure.
Oh my god. Skipping a cutscene is the hardest part. There's actually a split for it just to not break the auto splitter, which is 5 seconds long. It's the most prestigious like split in the world.
Community goal,
I mean, not in the world, in the community. If you get a gold there, you're basically the best player.
Yeah. So
on the 5-second split that you can't save or lose time on.
No, you have to skip the cutscene perfectly.
Yeah, the one before.
Very important.
It's actually really hard.
It's the peak reaction time or muscle memory skills for exactly pressing the button after 4.8 seconds or something like that.
Just be glad that you can skip cutscenes, alright?
Keep that thing right where it is, okay? What? Please, Subi. This is gonna work.
Oh no, he's deserting. What are we gonna do?
9S is leaving the front.
And an S is gone. I think it's a win for the speedrun.
True,
Now he cannot lose us time anymore.
Oh, he can't push me away from the cores when I pop.
Yeah.
All this hatred for 9S. I actually have a 9S figure somewhere around here.
Oh, really?
Okay, slight spoiler, and maybe a hot take, but I think that I'm pretty sure 9S is the main character of this game.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, like,
yeah,
lore-wise,
it probably is.
It's tough to hate on 9S lore-wise. He's got a hell of an art.
That's true. It's just for the speedrun, from the speedrun perspective, he can be pretty annoying a lot of the time. So
I haven't seen the anime.
I guess that's where it comes
from.
from.
The anime does anything with that, but
I guess it does. I don't remember 100% though, so I'm not gonna like go into details.
So then these cores, cores 2 and 3, there's like a slightly different strat that we do, right?
Yeah, we can use the pod program to kill the small.
Because the
Also
center
because
doesn't need 2 pod programs, right?
yeah, it's specifically one if you're lined up correctly. And how this rotation a lot of the time also works of the outer ring is that after a set time it will rotate, but if it basically the last core on your plane gets destroyed, it will rotate earlier than it would have normally done it. And if it rotates because it's forced to, since all of the ones that are on the plane are broken, it's way more likely that you'll actually get the good rotation to get the next 2 lined up on your plane and not have them outside of your plane. So if we use the pod program there, you can basically make it so you kill them quickly enough that now the rotation will be forced and not on the timer, which makes it basically almost guaranteed that you get good RNG and a good cycle there.
unfortunately, the cores don't always follow that logic, and sometimes they just decide to troll and like not behave at all. And then it's like,
I mean, I said like almost always.
yeah, I know what you mean. Like you're correct, but it's just unfortunately the game sometimes just, I don't know if it bugs out. There's something we don't understand, but it can lose your time and it's really frustrating because you don't really expect to lose time in the section.
Not really, yeah. I almost think that Grun is really bad on a bad run because you already don't care that much about it, and it's really good on a good run because you get the break you kind of also need mentally sometimes.
Now this is the final pour. Are coming up to.
It depends.
What depends if this is the final pour?
No, like if Grun is good or bad in your run
Right.
specifically. I was caught up in my thought, I guess. I'm
No,
sorry about that.
you're good. You're good. I was just teasing. And one last pod for you to finish this off. 5-second countdown and cuts.
Actually, not a bad Guan.
And we're done. We're done with the auto scroller.
No, back
No
to
more
actually
auto-scrollers.
good gameplay now.
Actually, good gameplay.
This is more or less the last stretch of, I don't know, I guess Copied City is not really that intensive, but after Copied City, there will be a
This
lot.
is the home stretch. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we did a bit of a distance jump there to hit that drown plane at just the right spot, so we get worked forward a fair bit, and that also gets us around a pretty long conversation that Tubi has with Command about what's happened, because we just skipped ahead like six hours.
I think it was 9.
It's 8 hours. It's 8 hours.
8 hours, right?
I heard the dialogue
8?
recently. I'm pretty sure it's 8 hours.
Okay, it might be 8. I thought it was 9 for some reason. Oh no, it's 8. You're right. I have the line in my head now.
8 hours?
Yeah. It was that
At
line.
least no one said
I remember
7.
now.
But yeah.
I almost did, but anyways, whenever
Oh my god.
we're doing a particular clip out to get out of bounds.
I'm losing my mind, but it's okay. Yeah, definitely shouldn't
go.
take
We
that
made it.
long, but
So normally in the casual run or like casual playthrough probably, you would be told to go to the resistance camp, pick up a scanner, go back to the shore, scan for android survivors, and then get told that 9S was brought down here to the sinkhole in the city ruins or something like that. But if we know that, we can just skip all of that going back with the scanner and we can just go straight down here. And since we know the shortcut of bounds, that makes it even quicker, and we're already in Copy City now.
What is this?
Yeah, we just go straight to the objective. There's nothing that stops us from doing that.
What's with the corpses?
Exactly.
Unlikely the Yukon units came this far on their own. Hypothesis. The
yeah, this is a realm that Adam has created, and he will talk about it a lot. He likes to talk, but we can luckily cancel that dialogue.
With a very, we also have a very fitting skip name for this. Actually, you wanted to talk about this, I remember.
Yeah, so he's talking a lot about like humans and humanity and stuff, and how he's like built this whole city to like study humanity and stuff. And we skip all of that with this trick that we call mansplaining, which is we just skip him mansplaining just like I am right now. So basically, we made our way over to this elevator, and we're kind of setting ourselves up just so we're at the perfect distance that we can touch a trigger with Tubi's butt. Actually, I think it's pretty awesome and very on brand for this game. As soon as he says "only then," we're gonna do another pod pat, and that once again overlaps the dialogue with his, and that just skips us right ahead over into the boss fight.
A 2-stage cancel, in fact, because the pod will say a dialogue when you touch the elevator trigger, but the pod pad will also trigger a dialogue that cancels the dialogue trigger from the elevator, which saves the time it would take for the elevator dialogue to finish.
So it compounds.
Time for you.
Yeah, that's like a double dialogue cancel, if you will, with that pod pad, which is why it's faster.
So now we're in this fight, and we're basically threshold him to a point where he starts talking, and then he laughs, and then we kind of stop doing damage because he has to finish laughing before we can progress. And you don't want to actually do too much damage there because he'll just start teleporting around and waste a whole bunch of time. But now all the stops are out. We just go absolutely nuclear on this guy. And just like that. So now we've saved 9S, we sent him back to command, he's getting fixed up. And Now we're back in and reporting in with the resistance leader. And boom!
This jump here
30
is
seconds.
a very big time save, actually. So what happens there is we talk to this computer girl that's next to an enemy's desk, and we do that while we're jumping, and this jump also carries us into a dialogue trigger that would happen if we leave a certain circle around an enemy. And because we're talking to a computer girl as well, we can cancel the dialogue of our operator calling us and telling us we are supposed to read mail to go to the factory. So we can just read that mail immediately, and as Ashley already said, it saves us 30 seconds, and we can just go straight where we need to be going.
I know
before
that.
even getting told where the objective is, of course, but...
Yeah, I know that skip is the boom 30-second skip because Ilo said it and then missed it and then lost 30 seconds.
Oh no.
So that's funny bit of lore there. Anyways, yeah, so we get our next quest as a like piece of mail. So we go over to the transporter, look at the mail, and now we're off to the races. We're pretty much racing this dialogue. If we're fast enough, we'll get to the factory before the dialogue is over, and we'll actually be able to get into a position that like pushes us slightly ahead. And because you're watching a world-class NieR Automata player, you gotta just nail it, like no problem.
Like with good spear dashing, that's pretty consistent to get here in time. It just
especially having VC3.
It takes a while until you get
VC3 makes spear dashing faster, so like it's
that
a lot
as well.
easier than VC2. But I mean, on this mode, you always
with
have
the weapon level, it's also.
Alright, next up is a pretty cool-looking section that is also pretty difficult, so I hope I can nail it. There's a lot of elevator skips, and a lot of out of bounds. But first we have to wait a bit for this guy.
Skip and tag-wise, factory is pretty much the most complicated or...
This is the climax of the run, dude.
Pretty much, yes. This is the most techy and has the most difficult skips pretty much in the game.
I would do 8 XP, but I haven't practiced it. I don't want to like fall down. But basically, there's like level 1 enemies up here, and some runners do like a high jump. They go out of bounds, do a high jump, and then kill these enemies up there and get 8 XP. At this point, this is basically nothing. Yeah, it's basically
but
nothing.
First, you lose your 8 EXP. What are you doing?
No,
You're
it's
basically
still
throwing
level
off.
19 and Eve. It's okay. It's okay.
Okay, I can allow it this once.
If it was PB page, surely I would have needed it. But yeah, we're talking to Pascal right here because it's a dialogue in the elevator, but we're just like canceling it or like not even letting him talk.
So the elevator will take longer if we actually let him talk, because it has to like accommodate for him talking before we arrive for some reason.
Does anyone want to start explaining the next skip in advance, because there's like a lot going on?
Icarus.
Yeah, I can try, or like I can do that. So we talked to this priest first of all, what's happening right now, because there's a dialogue into this cutscene which we skip with it. Then after that, after this cutscene, the first thing we will do is head to a corner and then clip and fall out of bounds or plunge out of bounds to void out a bit quicker. We do that to reset the room, because usually you would need to kill a certain amount of enemies in this room in order to unlock the elevator that's next up. But if you unload the room by falling down, it will also unload the enemies briefly, so the game thinks you killed them. Next, we touch this elevator button and just call the elevator. And while we do that, we try to head out of bounds. So Percy will clip out of bounds at the same place he did before and goes on top of the elevator. Pascal has to be in the corner here. He can't get stuck because he needs to go in the elevator like this. Now we hit the trigger while ledge grabbing the elevator, and we can ride it on top of it. We do that because in the next room, we need to take the elevator back up. But we also need a trigger down here, so we need to go here first. It's a bit complicated what I'm saying, but usually you would need to void out in this room to reset the elevator. We can skip all of that by being outside of the elevator. And since we're now back up in this upper factory room, we can hit the trigger further in the factory, that we need to progress the area, and then we can plunge straight to the end. That was a little bit much to explain right there. I hope that was even possible to follow, but it's just so much going on in this game, and trying to like explain all of this while it's happening is quite a bit difficult. So basically it's just a lot of triggers we need to hit.
In essence, you're watching tier 1 gameplay like before your eyes. That was absurd.
Yep. Percy's just too fast, man. I can't explain in time.
Yeah. Another interesting thing that you might have noticed is when you're riding a lift in this game, like you're sort of like parented to it. So the elevator's moving and we've left the elevator and the map is moving around us. So we do that there to get a little ways ahead and save a second or two.
Alright, that wasn't too bad. I made a few mistakes, but it's probably good enough.
Good enough for what?
Good enough for sub 3, but no one will know what that actually means, so... Yeah, but next up, there's actually this guy, this enemy. Right now you're seeing like a big beam of light pointed at him. That basically means it's a shield that makes him invincible, and because we don't want to fight an invincible enemy, we just go up here and chill in the air, and he can't attack us. And we'll actually use a sound cue.
As 9S will say, hang in there to be or something like that.
True.
We're hanging in there,
You
literally.
could actually hang on to the party. Some people do that. I prefer spamming light attacks. Heavy attacks. But we actually listen to this dialogue, and then we can line up when we have to drop down.
Yeah, we do a certain number of heavy attacks, which lines up with when the fight will actually begin. So now he's going to start taunting the enemy. We're going to pre-buff, and then as soon as we drop down,
This is actually so awkward.
we just... Oh, we got an unfortunate rotation there.
I taunted.
Yeah, we really want to avoid breaking a leg, because when we break a leg cover of this,
I got one attack.
like
It's
called
the
Soshi,
last one, but that was really, really awkward. Like, this is the 1 in 100 scenario that happened, but it's okay. I'm not gonna complain more.
unfortunate, yeah.
You've had some insane marathon luck this run, I'm going to be honest.
It's okay.
So, what I was trying to explain, when I first moved out of the way, if you break a leg cover of this boss, it will stun him, and it will take so long for him to get back up that we lose a lot of time to that. So we definitely don't want to break a leg cover, so we Percy had to move in front of him, which probably took too long so he could get an attack off or something like that. That's what I think might have happened.
I feel like my taunt was not applied or something, because I was not dealing much damage at the beginning, but it's okay. We destroy it anyway.
Okay, so what's gonna happen next, by the way? This is Shabu skip. We go out of bounds, and we'll stay out of bounds quite a bit to get to the end of factory faster. But this is a big chain of skips right now. This variation is called Super Shabu, so you go on this pixel ledge out of bounds. You basically dashing on this invisible pixel right there. Now spear dashing a few times. And we're trying to plunge down to the outside of the silo 3 of Prologue, and then getting on top of the door here, which we can't really see that well, but you'll be on top of the door. And that hits the cutscene from leaving the factory, or you'll stay on the door because the cutscene doesn't teleport us. And now we can take a better line out of factory by clipping on this container if it works.
Ah, I messed it up.
Which
It's okay, I'll try
unfortunately
again.
failed. And,
Are you going again?
yeah, so with this clip on the container, we'll just move over these girders with some dashing light attacks, and that gets us straight into a spear dash with a better line out of factory. This is one of the most recently discovered tricks, and it's also one of the hardest in the run, basically. So failing that is not even like that big of a shame, I would say. Like, well, I mean, it's a shame, obviously, but it's understandable.
Did you get a second try?
I got it second
it was
try.
like
It was a bit awkward.
considering
because I
how
put it out,
finicky,
but it's okay.
considering how finicky that clip can be, it's definitely understandable.
Ideally, there's like one strat in this game where you do the strat like perfectly and you do the movement perfectly, and you can actually arrive in resistance camp early enough, like beat a dialogue, and that dialogue will cancel this cutscene dialogue. So you would skip this entirely, and it would save like 6 or 7 extra seconds. And yeah, it hasn't been done on a run yet because it's really, really hard. And yeah, but it's still possible for sure. But unfortunately, I couldn't go for it because I messed up the trick first try.
So anyways, the enemy machines have basically gone like berserk, and they're just straight up eating people now. So we're kind of just swooping in to save the day, pretty much.
I'm getting so many spawns, but it's okay.
You're gonna have to clean up on the way out, no?
Yeah, it's fine.
Very nice. That's our last fight before the boss rush, pretty much. So we're going to be taking out 4 bosses here.
Yeah,
That's the weirdest cutscene in the game, by the way. So we just talk to an enemy. That dialogue is for some reason a cutscene. It's really strange when you first learn about it. Unfortunately, this guy did a bad attack. Usually can do either a fast range attack or he spins like this, and now he will get knocked down. If on a fast attack you can skip this knockdown animation, it will be slightly faster fight. It's mostly just up to RNG what attack he chooses. So there's nothing to be done about that in this case.
So that was first boss down.
Yeah, that was Bokushi, now it's
For this
4-1.
second boss, we want to manipulate him to go up on this hill, because usually he would like float in the air too high to hit him with TGs, and when we just pull him up here with our with this aggro, will be on the hill, we can hit him, and that kills him really quickly. Now dashing into the resistance camp, we do that to unload the ground on the way to our next boss, which will make the enemies that spawn there drop through the ground if we're lucky. And you can see them fall there. There's 2 that fell and 1 that's still hovering. The 2 that fell, that means the ground was unloaded there. And we do that to hopefully unload as much as possible to not lock onto them with our spear dashing, so we can have like some cleaner movement back to the next boss.
Pascal? Come in, Pascal!
And then here we also slow-mo while spear dashing, which is quite the finger gymnastics to cycle the slow-mo in a specific timing with the spear dashing, which is also to get around the enemies that would drop there usually, and slow-moing them will make it so they drop later and we actually get past them with spear dashing in time.
Also, if you caught on my naming of the boss earlier, if it was 4-1, then what's coming up next is 4-2. Oh, I missed some buffs.
You're not gonna believe what comes after Core 2.
4-3? No.
That's correct, it's not Core 3.
Let's take these guys out first.
This guy has quite the fat hitbox, which it works in our favor because he likes to float really high. First, it's gonna absolutely melt through him in just 5 or 6 seconds. Gonna do a final dialogue skip with 9S, and then we're gonna be on our way over to Eve. He's our final boss of the game.
Luckily, we didn't get a soft lock.
Partner dialogue cancel.
Yeah, I did a run like recently where I soft locked right after Core 2 because the area just didn't load. But luckily, it didn't happen here.
Oh.
So we're safe. We can finish the run, hopefully. Very likely.
So for Eve, we'll just buff up here in order to deal the top damage as quickly as possible. And it's just a case of double damage catching him. And then on Massive, we'll bot pad here on the dialogue Massive, which will cancel this charge up dialogue from his next phase, which will make the phase transition a lot quicker. And then we'll just damage him down again. Because we have so much damage, we don't need to go for like an older strat that existed here where we would try to like hold him on low HP while he heals. It's just a lot quicker to just kill him twice really quickly. And that just now makes him fly and transition to his final boss phase.
This final phase, and also a callback to the OG NieR, I believe. Because as you progress through this fight, it takes away like your melee abilities and
Hope that was
things
nothing.
like that.
Oh no, that's so close. Yeah, I might die here now. If I get unlucky, but I shouldn't die here. Like, we probably just have to shoot him like once. Like, okay, maybe a bit more. It was a bit greedy of me to SD there, but usually if you're usually you would like continue this phase and deal enough damage there, but this time it wasn't enough. Hotfire.
Yeah, at this point we're down to only having Hotfire available and being able to taunt him. So we just walk around and try to hit him with Hotfire, while he hopefully doesn't fly away all the way across the arena.
This part can be very, very rare.
There's more. There's like a 30-second dialogue, and I'll call time at the end, but it's coming up soon. But yeah, that basically was NieR Automata, A ending, BC3 mod. Hope you enjoyed it. Run was decent, and we got to explain a lot of strats. So yeah, I'm happy how it went.
The you that exists at this very moment.
It's looking like it's going to be a 119 RTA.
Alright, time is coming up.
I think it's still gonna be a 118 from what I saw the stream, barely.
Coming off the cutscene? No.
GG's.
Thank you, GG's.
GG.
Alright, I don't know, should we watch the cutscene or should we go straight to the credits? I don't know, credits have a nice song. I guess I'll go to credits.
Well, do you have shoutouts?
Oh, I would like to shout out the entire NieR Automata community for like being such a nice place, like a wholesome place that it's always like nice to come back to and whatever. Like I didn't really prepare this, but obviously like the entire community is really nice. Thank you for commentating for me, Ashley and Icarus. Thank you for having me here, GDQ. Yeah. But yeah, if you want to pick up this run, we have a Discord server. I don't know if we can shout it out right now, but if we can, maybe we can put a chat later. But yeah, if you want to learn this game, just join and we'll help you out. Everyone's like really happy to see new runners and to see the community grow and be more active again. But yeah. Do you have any shoutouts?
I just wanted to say thank you for letting me calm for you. Like this is one of my favorite speedruns ever, and being able to commentate for like top tier gameplay is just really fun. I had a lot of fun doing it. And yeah, I second that the NieR Automata community is amazing. This game is really fun and rewarding to get into. So if it looks at all interesting to you, then just don't hesitate to jump in and ask for help. There's people like Icarus who will sit down with new players for hours and hours and help them learn the run. It's just very friendly and welcoming community.
Yeah, it's not really a lot to add for me either. What Ashley said as well before. Thank you Percy for letting me commentate with you here today, and it was a lot of fun to be here and showcase the run together. And yeah, GG for the run you did. That was an amazing run, and for all the people who might be interested, as Ashley already said, the community is very open to new people, and we're always glad to help you out, learn the run if you're at all interested. And other than that, there's not really a lot more for me to say then. Thanks for having us, and
enjoy Stellar Blade, by the way. Enjoy Stellar Blade. It's still coming up. Don't tune out now.
So Ashley's not going anywhere. we're gonna still Stellar Blade after this. Thank you both to the other two of you, Percy and Icarus, for showcasing that. As I said at the top of the show, this is one of my all-time favorite games. The soundtrack, the story, etc. So anyone out there who hasn't played this, please go play it. It's amazing. And play it multiple times. It has several endings. Do not stop when you get to this point. Keep going. But other than that, we are going to take a quick break to get Stellar Blade set up, which is going to be any % New Game Plus. And while we're on break, if you're interested, with Frost Fatales 2026 having finished up at the start of the month, if you have any feedback you'd like to give about the Fatales event, you can visit gdq.gg/ffsurvey to submit your feedback. But we'll be back in just a few minutes while we get set up for the next run. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Perilous Paths here on GDQ Hotfix. We're in the middle of a double feature of NieR Automata and Stellar Blade. Pretty obvious reasons why these two games go together. Now, as mentioned at the top of the show, I am a former runner, but of the PS5 version, the PC version is very different. In fact, it's half the length of the PS5 run. So I'm very excited to see how this game has been broken over the last year or so. But let's go ahead and bring back in Ashley, who is joining us this time as a runner, and their commentators Blue Metal and Alakai. How are the three of you doing?
Hi.
Fantastic.
Yeah, we're doing great here. Yeah, so if you didn't see the last run, I commentated for that, and now I'm actually running this, but I'm joined with my two friends who are also fellow runners of this. But you guys don't really need any introductions. Are we ready to just jump right in?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, absolutely.
So we're doing the New Game Plus category. Time's gonna start as soon as I click this. I'll give you a countdown real quick. 3, 2, 1, and we start.
Good luck.
So we want to talk about story and what we're doing here.
Oh man, so the story, not gonna lie, I didn't really brush up on the story before coming here, but let's see what I can remember.
I'll be honest, it's shockingly familiar coming from the last game.
Yeah, like you know how in NieR it was post-apocalyptic thing happened, and you fight a bunch of machines. Well, it's basically the same thing, but it's a bunch of weird monsters called Natibas. And we're androids. We're gonna try to take our world back, if you get what I mean. So it's a very similar story idea.
Very similar idea.
You're from the
Humanity's last line of defense is an army of android women.
Yeah. Although
gives me very Claymore vibes.
I think there was also men, or at least boys in 9S's case, but
Oh, true. Yeah.
The one male androidas we meet in the entire run.
It's an evolution of the warrior princess idea, right?
Yeah.
So anyways, we're forced into this deceptively first-person cutscene in this very much third-person game. As we're getting started off
Is that
here.
the only time we see first person in the entire game?
I think it is, yeah. I thought it was weird casually, but anyways, regardless. So we're on New Game Plus. That gives us access to pretty much everything right away. We already have sprints, we already have all of our movesets, and we have our beta energy bar. I've started out the run with the exospine called Beta Trance, so we're gonna basically be doing certain attacks in this prologue section to maximize our beta charge. Because we don't do a whole lot of fighting in this game, and the little that we do, we pretty much want to run over with either ranged attacks or beta skills. So that ambush attack does give quite a bit of beta, which is why I'm employing it wherever I can here. Another minor optimization is we play with toggle sprints, and we want to be able to like preserve our sprint going into cutscenes. So if you dash into a cutscene like that, it actually buffers the sprint states into the next phase. Very minor optimization, but not a whole lot else going on to talk about. So,
touching on the beta energy routing, it's actually very tight in this game up until one of the late game bosses, where we can actually use to farm a pretty hefty chunk of energy to finish up the rest of the run.
Yeah, the beta energy, like at the bottom left, you have the long HP bar, and then above that you have the beta energy meter and a burst energy meter above that. Like, we gain beta energy by just hitting enemies with attacks, and then we spend some X amount of it to use a strong attack. And one of our most common ones is going to spend, I think, 2 whole blocks of it. It's the I think it's called Infinite Wave, right? Where we
Infinite Wave
from the sword.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the big one.
Another thing I'll point out is you'll notice I'm moving forward with this charge attack. We get access to that pretty much like every 8 seconds, I think. And we're going to use that anywhere that we have like a straightaway, pretty much. We just sort of do a heavy hold, which gives us that charge, and then we dash out of it immediately and go back into sprinting. So then right here, we're going to use our first infinite wave just to run over this tutorial boss, and we're right out of the game's prologue, just like that. And now we get to talk about my favorite part of this game, the cutscenes. My favorite part because they're really cool and not skippable at all, except sometimes.
They're very selective about which ones you're allowed to skip, which ones you can just text mash, and which ones you can't do either one, which is kind of frustrating, even though the game's fun and good. But shift up, why do you do this to us? Please, come on.
Yeah,
just let us skip the cutscenes.
If they let us skip the cutscenes, it would be an S tier run, honest to God.
When this came
the
out
run
on
would definitely
PS5,
be under an hour or two.
PS5, you couldn't skip any of the cutscenes, even New Game Plus, and it wasn't for like 6 months or something until they patched it. So there was a lot of complaints for a long time about the cutscenes.
Something is.
Oh, that's interesting. Because I know that you could skip on the disc version, so they like patched it out and then had to patch it back in, I guess.
The Earth's rain.
We can admire the scenery later.
Anyway, this game has quite the history. But anyways, so we're on IDOS 7. We've just been saved from Big Scary Monster by our friend Adam here, and this is a couple days later. We're going to try and group up these enemies and get them all in one with the heavy attack. Or we missed it, unfortunately. Just going to clean them up with lights and kill this guy. NG Plus does actually have a couple of extra enemy spawns here and there that you'll see. Not that they matter a whole lot, because we do skip pretty much most of it. And then we're going to enter these codes into these doors. There's a couple of these codes that we're gonna inputs, and the layout of the keypad is random, so we have to like memorize the symbols and then react to the keypad layout that we get.
Unfortunately, even being on New Game Plus, we still have to pick up the code. We can't just run to the door and enter the code.
Imagine if you just memorize the code and type it in, but the game don't let us do that.
Just a heads up, our costume poll did end, and it looks like Red Passion is the winner.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, because the GDQ one, the actual GDQ Marathon one, the one that won that one was Raven suit, right?
Yeah, it was.
I do believe it was Raven, yeah.
And then in
that was the expected win I was looking for.
In my sleep-deprived stupor, I mashed her into the skin suit on accident. we don't talk about that. Anyways, we're grabbing this fusion cell. This is actually like kind of like a generic like key item, and we're intended to use it like a 1 block over from here, but instead we're going to go off the beaten path and just jump out of bounds right here. Remember that we picked up that fusion cell though. There will be a quiz later. One sec. The game doesn't always like to give me my sprints. I'm going to do a quick slope jump here into this collision reset, then we're going to jump out the window, and now we're out of bounds. Collision resets are like a weird bit of
sort of movement tech that are almost specific to the PC version. At a very high frame rate, you can get Eve stuck in geometry, and she's sort of like stuck in this landing state over and over again. You can get like extra jumps out of it and stuff. So you're going to see that quite a bit here and there. So I threw a fair bit of tricky out of bounds pathing. Go ahead.
That and the slope jumps are going to be used throughout the entire run also. Slope jumps is kind of the same thing where it's frame rate dependent with how big of a slope jump you get.
Yeah, frame rate dependent, angle dependent, speed dependent, all those things. It's like a bunch of moving parts that'll just play into this huge jump you might do off of a slope.
So then you saw I just went into photo mode, and that's kind of like an interesting quirk with this game where what stays loaded in is dependent on where the camera is rather than where Eve is. So we can sort of force the map to stay loaded in by going into photo mode and moving the camera around. So I'm grabbing this safety save here just because this is setting up for our first like really technical trick that I just screwed up. So good thing I grabbed that.
Yeah.
But this is going to be our first air swim. If you want to talk about that, Blue.
Oh yeah, air swims, man. So there's like two ways for an air swim to work, but pretty much what we're doing is we're using a body of water out of bounds to let us, as it's called, swim in the air. And you can either land at the very edge of one, like that one, where as soon as you fall in, you're immediately out of it, and you're just swimming in the air. We're just going to go straight to the boss. The other way to do one is to like swim out from underneath, and then you drop down really fast, and then your frame rate will determine how far down you drop. So yeah, a couple ways to do it, and this one you just fall out from the edge as soon as you enter it, and we're just swimming straight to the boss.
At the end of this, I'm going to be equipping the costume and switching over to Eagle Eye Exospine. Eagle Eye is going to basically buff our ranged attacks for the rest of the game because we like abuse the hell out of them throughout this game's runtime. You'll just see like the insane damage I'm doing with the shotgun here.
Shotgun's pretty busted.
Extremely busted.
Not only is the damage strong, but like it interrupts what the enemy's doing, so it's good.
It's real good. It unfortunately doesn't stop being good on story mode.
Your main tools of destruction are going to be the shotgun and the infinite wave beta.
Shotgun and infinite wave, yep. That's the story mode combo right there. So now, after all of that excitement, we're now stuck in an unfortunate mashing cutscene. These are the cutscenes we were talking about where you can't skip it, but you can quote-unquote mash through it. And the way mashing dialogue in this game works is you can only mash a line after it's been playing for like 2 seconds. So yeah, you're kind of just sitting here like relentlessly pressing a button for minutes on end.
Yes. Then I can.
Very interesting they decided to go with that style of skipping.
Well,
It's engaging gameplay, right?
Is it?
Yeah, absolutely.
actually,
But you'll notice,
It's making you time when you
called science.
press that skip button,
If we
or
go
you just
there-
mash.
yep.
I have a
You'll notice that Eve is talking to voices in the room. Because we've completely sequence broken through IDOS 7, the game doesn't preload like Adam or Lily's like character models. So they're like not here. And they don't come in until we do a save load, which we'll do in the next area. So them being unloaded actually makes the next part a little bit faster, because normally it would force us into extra cutscenes, force us to slow walk while they talk about stuff, and we get a whole bunch of expository dialogue. But because they're not like physically there, we can just sprint all the way through like all of that.
Just talking to our imaginary friends.
Like you
I need to
do.
rename my split that. Imaginary friends.
So then here, as you'll see, these are slope jumps, frame rate dependent, jumping tech.
Yeah, you get a little bit of speed off of doing these slope jumps here, which help push Eve across the bridge faster.
And you'll see a couple more of those, like even in this area, like before we leave here. This area, if you've seen my AGDQ run, there's actually been like 3 or 4 minutes of time save found since then, so I'm really, really excited to get to show that off. Most recent thing is actually like some rerouting and what we do in Zion here actually. So you'll see that in a couple minutes here. But first, story stuff. I don't even really remember what all happened in Night 7, but we found like a power source or whatever, and we just actually have it. So Adam's like, oh, let's go help the last remaining human city. So we go and do that. So we're on our way to go do that. But first, I need to actually load Lily and Adam back in. So I actually switch over to keyboard and mouse here for the menuing. I'm going to do a sword charge forward, neutral dash forward, and then put out. I switched to keyboard and mouse there because you kind of want to do most, if not all, of the menuing with the mouse, because the menus just react faster to the mouse than with the controller.
Yeah, right.
But now because I said
when you interact with any piece of the camp over there with any like all those little devices, you interact with any of them and it makes the game autosave. And then once you see the autosave, then you just reload save. Because that NPC over there that we talked to, they don't talk to you at all if you do the glitch. So you have to reload to get them to work.
Yeah, doing the skip puts the game in kind of like a soft lock state, and doing that reload fixes that.
And funny thing is that actually only works on the PC version. Like even if you save load on PS5, it doesn't get you out of the state. It's a PC exclusive skip. So now we have to hold these guys' hands while they come over here, and basically what's happening is we're taking that power source we found in IDOS 7, and we're putting it into the like heart of Zion, basically. So we're restoring power to the Zion city.
Yeah, we're putting in that little fusion cell from the car into this big thing. I'm kidding, but like, you're supposed to go into like a big, like gigantic room full of like these servers and screens and everything that gives you a big power source you put in here that we never got in this run. But we got the little one from the car. That's pretty neat.
So basically the game's doing like this whole like theatrics just to show you like what disarray the place is in. We put the power source in and everything lights up like it's oh, it's magic. It's like, no, it's just electricity.
Thanks to you, the lives and my personal...
That's great news! Does that mean we can figure out...
So Eve's motivations are she wants to find all the alpha nativas, which are basically like the king chiefs of the nativa army, and Adam says he can help her with oracles. Like Oracle can help her find them, but Oracle also needs more energy to be able to find them. So he's sending us on a little like quest to go find another hyper cell. So you can help us find like the next big target, basically.
Also, shout out to that bodyguard who has an amazing design, but I don't think actually matters at all in the game.
They added him as a boss fight. Yeah, they added him as a boss fight in the PC release.
Oh, did they really? Okay.
They did, and he's like the hardest fight in the game.
Yeah, the boss challenge or boss rush, whatever that mode's called, like he's added to it at the end of it, and yeah, he's hard. He's really tough, dude.
I think
you play that fight and you're just like, how does what happened in the story happen there? But you fight him here and he's like way harder.
Mops the floor with you, dude.
How did you lose?
You'll think you have an edge, and then he pulls out his sidearm and shoots you. I'm not making this up. Like,
we have to do and meet back at the tetrapod.
all right. So real quick, this guy likes to stop you, but we can just sword charge straight through his like activation trigger, and then he won't stop us to talk to us. But basically, what's going on is much like NieR Automata, it's sending us on a side quest, so we're acquainted with the idea of side quests in the world.
Unfortunately, Zion 1 is done relatively close to the normal way. There's not really much that we can do here to kind of speed this up. We have to run around and do a couple errands. We've tried so hard and just can't.
There's actually been like a complicated out of bounds path found, but it's slower.
Really?
There's been a couple things found in Zion 1 that actually overall is slower.
It's in theory like, oh, it skips this, but you have to run across all of Zion, so it's slower, kind of thing.
A bike. I do have to go out to the waste.
So anyways, we're getting like a spare part from her for Adam's super cool spaceship that is always broken.
Every single quest that breaks.
Everywhere we go, it's just broken. And she's telling us that, oh, her sister's missing, and then here's a side quest to go find what happened to it, kind of deal. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to turn on seasonal content.
No Christmas tree.
No Christmas tree.
The tree that's in
you know
your
what
way.
else that gets rid of? The dancing cactus.
Yeah, we
part of the game.
have to do this for the dancing cactus, actually. Like, you're
We
absolutely
need the dancing
right.
cactus. It's worth, trust.
It is actually worth. It only wastes
It's been a while
like
since
a
I've
couple
seen the
seconds.
seasonal stuff.
Whenever I was preparing for GDQ, it was Christmas time, so I just left it on automatic and saw it the whole time.
Isn't the tree actually in your way? You have to go like slightly out of the way to get around it.
Now try hitting
Yeah, it's like maybe a second or so slower.
on target again. Perfect.
So we get our little
Yes,
Kovac scenario to be acquainted with our ranged attack that we already knew about because we're playing New Game Plus. This game annoyingly like introduces you to the ideas of abilities that you have, even though it's New Game Plus. Like, there's not a whole lot different in the NG Plus like playthrough.
You asked for.
Great work, Eve. That was your walk around the city.
Just treat them as a reminder.
Oh, dancing
Dancing
right there.
cactus.
You can do this?
Well, there are still,
Look at him wiggling back there.
unfortunately.
I love the
Then
dancing
I'll go ahead on
cactus.
foot.
What?
Reminds me of the Wiggler hat from Monster Hunter World.
In fact,
All right, before I leave, I'll show the beam shot thing.
please be. Yes, thank you.
The wasteland is that way.
So, anyways, as mentioned before, Adam's super cool spaceship is broken, and he can't come help us for a day, so we have to go out on foot and find the thing.
Eve, there's something I didn't tell you.
All right, check this.
It's a backfire.
Oh, my frames, dude.
Oh no. So this is actually a new thing that we added into Zion 1, where we run over to pick up this wasteland phone for a fast travel in a later Zion where we can actually fast travel here to do a tech to skip something.
Yeah, we're setting up for a future skip. This is as Alakai mentioned, this is like pretty new stuff. But first, we have another air swim. If you want to talk about how really cool this climb up section is, Blue.
Oh, it's cool, man. We're slope jumping up and trying to land on these tiny little rocks and ledges as we go up this cliff face, this wall. It's frustrating, as you can see that we're trying to just scramble around, trying to get into these exact spots and get the right slope jump angles. But the goal is to go all the way up until we're out of bounds, and we're gonna jump down and find a body of water to do, as you would think, as you would guess, another air swim. And just scaling this wall is obnoxiously difficult.
A game that's not meant to be a platformer becomes a platformer.
Yeah, the recurring theme in this game is getting out of bounds is the annoying part. All right, gonna drop down here. Very narrowly avoid up trigger, and then we're gonna set our frame rate to 30. We're gonna swim out of this plane, and then we're gonna go back to limited, and then we're going to swim all the way across.
That's the other type of air swim, where you swim out from the body of water and then you drop down. And how far you drop and how much speed you gain all at once is dependent on your frame rate. So that's why you switch to 30, so you drop down not as far. But if you were to switch it to a higher frame rate, you'd go down much further. And we don't want to go down too far to where we can't reach any story triggers.
I might get the slow walk.
Outsider.
Oh god! Oh, -4 seconds feels bad.
-4 seconds. Yeah, if Eva's just in like a running or swimming state, apparently, then she'll do that running up on screen motion. Whereas if you're in a jump or an attack or something, then you'll just like warp right on screen. And that costs like 4 or 5 seconds.
Nice boss fight.
Very
cool boss fight.
Fantastic.
On normal, just new game, that boss fight is incredibly difficult.
Yes.
Yeah, when this game calls it the easiest mode story, it's not kidding. It's story mode.
It's like running a train through a piece of paper.
Pretty much.
We often say that this game is heavily inspired by NieR Automata, which is why we're doing them on a show together. But one thing that people tend to forget is we get into these kind of Resident Evil sections that are kind of coming up. I don't know how much of that survives the PC version, but you get kind of locked into just gunplay here.
This was one of the highlights. Yeah, this is one of the highlights for me. It's like, because you do like open world stuff for like 10 to 15 hours, and then you come down here and you're locked out of like your melee attacks and you have to shoot things, and it actually tries to be scary. But real quick, a very new skip found right here. If we can get it. Boom, just like that. We climb up out of bounds.
Let's go.
Yo, you can see the whole world
I remember
from here.
seeing this, yeah.
Oh yeah. There's another new skip I was telling you about in DM's Cutie that was found on Saturday that skips this entire section, but I was not able to get it like consistent enough to feel comfortable doing it just yet.
Yo, we spent like...
From what I've seen, it's hard. Really hard.
It's really hard.
Ashley and I spent like 5 hours the other night trying to lab it, and it was just brutal the entire time. Man.
Yeah, but I remember Belial skip feeling like very similarly, and then now that's just a thing that we do in runs, so... But yeah, as Cutie was mentioning, like these sections are like very Resident Evil-esque. You know, you're locked out of your melee abilities, and then, you know, it's really dark, and you have monsters, you know, dropping in from the ceilings and stuff. And they're honestly like actually very disturbing, like monster designs if you look at them.
Yeah, kind of icky looking.
You got enemies dropping enemies that blow up in fire.
Yeah. And then, in case it wasn't like mentioned before, but this game actually was a PS5 game. How could you tell?
Forgot about this.
Triangle, circle, X, square. Wow, it's a PlayStation.
So for reference, if you step on the wrong thing there, chat, you just go right through the floor.
Yep. So remember about 15 minutes ago when I said remember this fusion cell we picked up? This is where we're using it. Normally you'd have to do a whole song and dance upstairs to find the one to go to open this door, but we can just keep the one from IDOS 7. And now this elevator is about 40 seconds. Not quite long enough for a bathroom break, but a break nonetheless.
Facility to study Natives. Or yes, they might have.
So they're talking about what the point of the facility is, because it looks very, very old and ancient, but on the inside it's like actually like very modern with a bunch of like assembly lines and stuff like that. So they're not really sure what the point of this place is. So then coming up is another fun NG Plus skip here. We're gonna...
It's gonna be like the first one where it's you hop up on this button that's very small to get over the laser room. And then you have to dip into that elevator a little bit to spawn in the barrels.
That skips like an entire like arena fight down below.
Yo, this is actually just
Most annoying part of that.
This is reminding me how much of the game we skipped to get here, because like we didn't do archive or like the big first set of boss fights or anything.
Yeah, we're 25 minutes in and we're this deep.
That's wild. Sorry, that my brain just
you're
clicked,
good.
like, oh my
You're
god,
good.
we skipped so much. So I'm sorry, whoever I cut off.
Yeah, I mean the first air swim skips what? Is it 2 or 3 bosses?
Yeah. It skips 2 bosses.
Yeah, Abaddon and Corruptor.
And then we skipped the construction zone as well.
Yeah, and going down into the archives. So yeah, it skips a lot.
So this section I switched over to mouse and keyboard just because it makes the like precision movement a little bit easier, and also it's just nicer to shoot with the mouse. kind of a recurring theme is like anywhere I have to shoot something, I like to do it on the mouse.
Take a breath anyway.
This game's dead zones on the sticks is a little interesting to say the
There's
least.
quite a bit to be desired, yeah.
Yeah, this fight on sticks is not pleasant. I can see that.
Yeah.
Look, it's a hype.
So now we found that hypercell that Oracle sent us to come find. And then next to it, they found what's called a legacy, which is kind of like a Star Wars hologram thing, where this character Raven is recorded like for logs. She's from the like assault squad that's from before Eve's, and Raven was kind of going through these places and trying to piece together like the purpose behind them and the history of what truly happened. So this is where the first like idea that what Eve has been told about history isn't quite real, I guess, if memory serves.
Yeah, more or less. And then there's gonna be like 4 of these throughout the run.
I didn't think a
and
record like this
they're all different in their
existed.
own ways. Where this one at least lets you text mash it, and then the next 2 are just completely unskippable. You have to sit and watch.
What do you think?
And then the last one is like a regular cutscene.
That you can just completely skip.
Things shift
I'll
up.
retrieve the
Yeah.
legacy.
Yeah, they shift up.
Okay, I'll be waiting.
No, real talk though, shift up is kind of like blew my mind with this game, because the only thing that they've done before this was a gacha mobile game. So this was their first like real AAA game, and it's absolutely amazing.
It was a fantastic casual playthrough for sure.
Yeah, I definitely like this game a lot. I played it 100% on PS5 and came out on PC. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do it again. PC did it again. It's like, this game is great. I love it. And then you go to speedrun. It's just like, I love the game, but stop making me watch these cutscenes.
Yeah, I will say, being a new runner myself, after about 2 months, I'm already sick of watching the cutscenes.
Do you have to do the Taki cutscene in this one?
Unfortunately.
Okay, that's the one that killed me. It's like 2.5 minutes long. I used to call it the bathroom break. It's like halfway through the run.
Well, now that's like the first like third of the run, I think. Like we get there at the 35-minute mark, more or less. And then the real bathroom break is Raven and Oracle. So some new tech I've been trying out is doing these like sort of like charge chains through those doors, because then you can do a normal charge after that.
Yeah, if you do a light, heavy, the second heavy is like this shorter charge attack, but still gives you a pretty decent amount of distance.
And you can like buffer it on doors and stuff. So
yeah, so you can dash out of it and sword charge a gun.
Yeah, I've been
Which
kind of
just gives you,
trying
like,
to
this
find like
huge
ways to use it. So we were talking about like cutscenes we can't skip and stuff. Oh yeah, look, huge distance with that. Anyways, talking about cutscenes we can't skip. Now it is interesting to note that some of the biggest discoveries since my AGDQ run are only significant because we can't skip cutscenes. That is to say, we have out of bounds that gets us around cutscene triggers now. And you're gonna see the first one of those up ahead after this.
None of this can compare.
So what's going on is Will has more power. He's telling us where the next Alpha Nativa is. It's a place called Matrix 11, so that's where we're off to next. But first, though, we're going to come off over to this corner, and we're going to do a quick little slope jump to get out of bounds. This is one of those angle matters type of deals. We're going to climb up out of here, then jump over, hit the save trigger, and then we reload. And yeah, this gets us past a cutscene where Lily and Adam talk to us about like what we're gonna do next.
We get to do that skip 2 more times.
Oh yeah, and then this one's also pretty new, but we're gonna do another talkie jump here. We're gonna sprint down the bridge here and do a slope jump up here. Oh, that was close.
Nice. That's a lot harder than it looks, because what you're actually doing is you have to slope jump between 2 planes that will just void you out. That stick like straight up in the air.
Yeah, there's one void out plane that's like a pillar. Like they didn't want us to jump straight across, but we can jump around it.
All preparations are complete.
And then you gotta run around the ship so you don't run into the actual cutscene trigger on the platform.
All right.
Yeah, we're skipping a cutscene with Lily telling us about getting our double jump and stuff like that. So that alone saves like 20 seconds, but it takes 15 seconds to set up. So it's kind of interesting how like it comes together. Now, interestingly though, that cutscene stays active even though we've left the map. So we have to actually do a quit out here, or else we'll get like a weird situation when we finish this area with 2 cutscenes overlapping, and that's like really, really bad. We do a quick little reload checkpoint there, and then we're off on our way.
Into Matrix 11.
Low-key, the scariest part.
Chapter would be skippable if we can get our way out of bounds in the first room, but...
Skipping 75% is going to have to do.
Lily, did you locate the core?
One moment, please. I'm rebuilding the map data.
Watch out. This place is old.
A little bit of optimization there, jumping over the trains instead of running through them is faster.
It's a little bit.
Straighter line.
Looks like they used to work here.
From here, we're gonna set up for
light. Double jump dash to jump over a cutscene trigger there, where some guy gets taken over by a little tentacle monster.
It's introducing us to headcrab zombies from Half-Life.
That was so gross.
You know, I completely understand now why I went from this to Half-Life.
It's the pipeline was there, right? So I'm actually killing this guy because I want to grab a safety save just in case something goes horribly wrong up here.
This place looks safe. Let's rest for a bit.
So now this is probably the biggest like heavy hitter skip found since GDQ coming out. Which is kind of crazy because this art was already one of the biggest skips, and we just found a way to do it like even earlier.
Yeah, this is just avoiding having to like run through a huge portion of the level where we used to set up an air swim. Now we can set it up a lot earlier.
So instead of like half 11 skip, we call it like 3/4. So I'm switching to keyboard now just because it makes the precision platforming you need here just a little bit easier. We're getting stuck here, gonna line up with the compass just like that, and then we're gonna do slope jumps like sort of back and forth, and we're coming up and over this big invisible slope here. Is the goal.
It does remind me that there's a theme that's used among several jumps where you use the compass at the top of the screen to line up.
That's no good.
Okay.
Yeah, this is one of those sections where if you slip off at the top there, you're just dead. There's nothing you can do about it. The game, it's enough fall height that it just kills you.
Yeah, contrary to Automata, I don't think we got a chance to really explain this during the Automata run, but if you void out in Automata, you get teleported back to a safe spot after like 5 seconds, and that's just not a thing in this game.
It's almost like a Souls game. It takes you back to your last like checkpoint.
There is a silver lining though, Alka. You know what that is?
What is it?
I have talkie mode again.
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay.
Makes it free.
The other thing too that other game has that this one doesn't is that we don't have a self-destruct spam button to save us from a long drop.
What the hell's happening?
You're like stuck. There you go.
I was like stuck. That was weird.
So we routed in using Taki mode to make this jump pretty much trivial up at the top here. But then with doing Taki skip in Zion 2, unfortunately, in most runs we will not have Taki mode here to make this the easy mode, so to say.
Okay, I'm like overcomplicating this.
I like how it double reminds you. You died, you are dead.
It's a good thing I grabbed that safety save, though. This would have been really ugly if it wasn't for that.
Yeah, if you die here, it takes you back to the beginning of the level, so you have to run through everything all over again.
Yeah, it could be way worse.
Yeah, as it was said before, slope jumps are all about angle too. So if your angle's off just slightly, you get some very interesting things that happen.
It's like we're also getting a little bit harassed by some enemies.
We're getting a little flustered, if I'm honest with you. There we go.
Whoa, she vanished.
I hit the no clip reactively.
Oh.
When in doubt, make it a little swaggy.
You know what, since it was mentioned on that death screen, it says you died, you are dead. Isn't that Korean writing on top of it? Does it say it a third time?
Probably.
You are a disgrace.
They just really want to make sure you know what happened. And that is an important distinction, I think, because we do often compare this to NieR, that this game is Korean rather than Japanese.
Yep, so now we're going to use Taki mode to land in this water here. Ash is going to line himself up in this corner. He's going to adjust Eve's position, swap to 60 FPS to help with this air swim. And we're just gonna, off we go.
Then once we level out, I'm gonna go back to unlimited.
And this is gonna take us right to the end of the level where we get to see our friend.
And I remember the evolution of all the skips that happened in this place. It's come a long way. Busted in many ways.
Yeah, imagine actually playing through all of Matrix 11 like the way you're supposed to.
Why would we do that?
Couldn't be me.
What is this place?
It's a pretty long section, too.
Yeah, I felt like in my casual playthrough, Matrix 11 was a very long section.
I mean, even though we screwed that up like 3 or 4 times, we're still at Taki at 40-30, at the 40-minute mark, which is kind of an unreal amount of time that we just saved.
AKA Death Stranding Sephiroth right here.
And here's another instance of how broken the shotgun is, too.
We're going into second phase. There's 1 or 2 things you can do. We got the fast attack. That's good.
Nice.
Never get the fast attack on a good run, though.
Yeah, the game just taunts you with giving you a fast Taki attack.
This is it's the bathroom break, right?
This is the
bathroom break.
Yes.
No, I was gonna call for the ad break after Abyss.
Yeah, we sadly have to watch Taki die repeatedly.
Every single run.
Every single run.
So in the story, as mentioned before, we were sent to Matrix 11 to do follow basically the next like alpha signal, and the alpha signal was in fact actually Taki. She had been subjugated since the prologue and turned into like a alpha Natiba.
Thanks for freeing me.
Yes, it's definitely the get a drink, get a snack, go to the bathroom.
I have
This is
section of the run.
Popcorn
Yeah, this is
emoji.
the mega consume popcorn emoji.
Unironically, this is where I just tab over to Discord and just like catch up on everything. Kind of comfy to have a Discord break like routed into the run.
Yeah, so during the original like PS5 run, this was like an hour 30 in or something, and so like by then you really did need a bathroom break.
Will the memory stick be destroyed? Because it's already contaminated.
It's crazy to think like an hour and 30 was here and the entire run is now under that.
In that case.
Yeah, the PS5, like we had to eat all the cutscenes, and then we didn't obviously have any of these scripts, so we skipped. So we fought like Abaddon and the Corruptor, and like for Chad, if you haven't played this game, we have skipped so much of this game.
I promise, Taki.
Well, it's also why we have other categories. There's all bosses,
May
for
your
example,
memories live
or
on.
main bosses, I should say.
Forever.
Yeah, all
I think
main bosses
Like,
is kind of
do
like
some
the
skips, but
that's kind of like the 70 star.
Yeah.
Like you do everything you're supposed to, more or less.
mm-hmm.
I don't know if it was mentioned,
guess,
but we are playing on a down-patched version of this game.
That is true, but it's not exactly important because all of the skips that you're seeing can be done on current patch. I talked about this last night because someone came in the Discord and asked, but
I was
you
going to mention that.
yeah, only need to down patch for the glitchless category in this game. Interestingly enough.
Yeah, there was one skip that got patched, and any percent doesn't care about that skip. So any percent can play on any patch, and then Glitchless wants to do that one skip, but it got patched, so they have to down patch for that. It's pretty silly. So one of the few skips that they bothered to patch, and then it seems like after a while they're just like, you know what, fine, we're done. Let them have their fun, I guess. We're done trying.
Why?
It's not unusual.
From what I've seen with the tools, though, a lot of it's just, let's slap a giant wall here. Oh, they still got around it? Let's slap another one at a slightly different angle.
The easternmost one won't be eaten.
Let's hurry. Yes.
So now, once again, we're back here, and that means we do the same skip again. So jump out of bounds to get around another conversation with Lily and Adam.
Luckily enough, in Zion 3, there is no Lily cutscene, so we can just take the phone to the ship and then peace out of here into the next section of the run.
Eve, Lily. I just realized
So now we're being given the gift of another unskippable cutscene.
I'm worried about what this one is going to be about.
And then you said we're going to do the break sometime around here?
After Abyss.
After
If
Abyss.
that's fine. Or would you prefer it now?
Whichever works better for you.
After the second dive. 5th record. Legacy account.
I think maybe after Abyss makes the most sense, because it's like we're done with the level structure of linear level, open area, Resident Evil level, and then Spire 4 after the break would be like, all right, this is the real stuff. This is when stuff gets like kind of nuts and kind of difficult.
Yeah, that's why I was gonna wait till Spire to do the break.
To the letter.
Cool. Sounds good.
That's when
you
actually
Was
starts.
our guiding light, our salvation, our God.
If the timer started there, I would complain, dude.
In truth, Mother Sphere was a powerful artificial intelligence created by mankind.
No, but yeah, this is another Raven Legacy. She's kind of piecing things together, finding out that their quote-unquote like android god that they call Mother Sphere isn't actually like all that she seems.
Her self-made counterpart.
And it's starting to plant the seeds of doubt in
Humanity and the
Eva
potential
Lily.
of Andro Eidos. She decided there was no room to spare for mankind.
One thing that did sort of annoy me about this game is just how poorly the what's called twists are hidden in terms of naming conventions and everything.
I don't know anymore.
The main story is just not it on this game, to be honest with you.
Everything.
Pretty sure chat's already figured out where this is gonna go.
That's what like. Usually, like I appreciate it when a speedrun doesn't spoil a game's best parts, and I mean, this speedrun doesn't spoil this game's best parts, but you do see the whole story, which isn't very good.
Please take me to Abyss Lavoie.
This was definitely a very forgettable story for sure.
Both this and NieR do feature Adam and Eve, though.
That's true. Playing completely different roles, though.
Yes. Well, sort of. The Adams are kind of ish.
So, one thing we did not talk about is in these big, huge open world sections, we actually get a super sprint mechanic that we're actually going to use here. It kind of gives you like a 25% speed boost when you've been sprinting for a while. Wonder what game they got that from.
Well, surprise, surprise, Adam's ship is broken again.
Yeah, it's kind of useless, to be honest. But yeah, that's the super sprint, so we kind of want to route our way around these enemies so we stay out of combat. We want to use this as long as we can.
Yeah, dialogues and being in combat stops it, and then once that happens, that's when you go back to using the rush and just making your lines good.
That's why scavengers like me exist.
And you can see I'm unlocking the summer tracks because I have seasonal content on.
Well, it's a very common thing on Earth.
I always love running through this section on current patch because you hear the fanfare of the little car that drives around the desert.
Oh, the Emil car?
Yeah.
What kind of facility is
Great.
Do I have to go through another test? Yes.
So right here I'm actually going to fight this boss a little bit differently. We're going to like get her balance all the way down, and that gives us access to a move called Retribution, which just looks really cool. Only loses like 6 seconds, but it's worth showing off.
This place is deeper, and please be careful.
So for reference, chat, we haven't seen a ton of it this run because we are going through things so quickly, but this game is very heavily like based on like parrying and Devil May Cry and Sekiro type stuff, so you saw a little bit of it there. But if you play this casually, it will look and play very differently than what you're seeing here. But it is an amazing game, so definitely check it out.
Yeah, don't think that this run is spoiling it for you.
The parrying in this game is actually very similar to Sekiro.
And very flashy.
So then right here, we're employing like a bit of like ledge skips and also spamming dodge here. And that actually allows us to skip like this entire cycle of shredders, which saves a good chunk of time.
Have stopped.
And then here we have to kill these guys because something we didn't explain is if there's enemies around, the game doesn't let you interact with anything, and we have to like interact with this box. So to clear out all the enemies, move this out of the way, and then we're going straight into another out of bounds skip here.
Reminds me of that research
channel to open
Climbing up and over. Drop down, void out.
This looks like the place we saw earlier.
I believe that scene's about a minute or so.
Something like that. Yeah, it's a huge skit. And then if it hasn't been said before, the music in this game just rips.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mentioned it in chat. I don't think I'm going to be able to feature another episode that between this and NieR Automata has a better combined soundtrack. Like, I don't know that it can be done. It's going to be a tough challenge.
Maybe if you can do like a 15-hour FF7 remake block.
It was definitely one of the things that I enjoyed the most about my casual playthrough was just like all the different songs and how fantastic they are.
And stylistically diverse too.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah, there was one track that always stuck in my head because if my name didn't already make it obvious, there was this random heavy metal track that was playing in a cutscene in a random side quest and never plays again. I'm just like, where is that song? Why doesn't it only play here? Come on, bro.
I would have to go find that song now.
Right? I don't even know what it's called. I just know it's played in a random cutscene in a random optional side quest. The diverse soundtrack, mostly really good, just all the way across the board. And yeah, we're blasting some dudes here.
And
missiles are good.
Is Adam still outside?
I think it was your routing, isn't it?
Repairs are taking forever.
I think so, yeah. I liked trying to fit in the explosive rounds whenever I could. Oh, and speaking of, this jump's kind of sus.
Oh, so you still do it?
It's very nice.
He didn't do the even dumber version. That's good. He did this the one that makes sense.
I don't do the super YOLO one though.
That was really scary.
Yeah, the super YOLO one is YOLO for a reason.
Is that the one from the elevator?
It's the one where you go all the way around.
Yeah, like you jump from one side of the room directly, like do a U-turn jump around to the other side instead of grabbing the girder sticking out.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. You still do this jump too. I figured you would have routed something different by now for this.
There's been other stuff found, but nothing is as like simple and easy as that.
Yeah, there's another way through the room where you don't have to worry about the cycle of the robot, but it's obnoxiously precise, but it's a way that keeps up with the fastest cycle. So what I like to do is if the robot's on a bad cycle, I do the harder version just to keep up, but it's kind of hard, so sometimes I don't want to do it. And fighting the same boss with more spots to shoot. He's dead.
Yeah, this game with some of the tricks and the precision jumping is can be very frustrating. We had an issue in Control where Jesse grabs everything, but in Stellar Blade, Eve doesn't want to grab anything.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of a...
Day 78 after the second
Go ahead.
dive.
I was gonna say, at its core, a lot like Devil May Cry and some of those other kind of action spectacle fighters, whatever we want to call them. It has platforming, but it does not want to be a platformer in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, we're like fighting the game design because it's like not meant to be a precision platformer.
Andro Eidos declared themselves.
So in this third and hopefully final Raven legacy that we'll see,
with Mother Sphere at its heart,
Raven's kind of like piecing the whole thing together. What our conclusion is here, I don't remember. Oh yeah, no, it's the NieR replicant twist where the enemies were humans all along or something like that.
Yeah, the natives are mutated humans, yeah.
Yeah, as much as I love this game, I will not hesitate to point out that this game steals elements from NieR Automata, NieR Replicant, The Matrix, for whatever reason. This is very much let's make our own cool sci-fi world by like taking all these pieces from everything else.
That's what they've become. Monsters.
I like these other things, I'm gonna make it clear.
Yeah, exactly.
That being said, as much as we all make fun of this game, and I think rightfully so, I think everyone should try it out casually if it looks interesting to them, because it does play very well. It's got a banger soundtrack. It's a lot of fun. So while this game has a bit of a reputation, we all kind of laugh about it for different reasons. Don't let that put you off the game. The game is actually quite good.
This game is...
It's actually very fun.
This game is phenomenal, like, honestly. I tend to be very critical of things that I like a lot, which is where all this comes from.
For sure. Like, it's fun enough that I've double dipped on both versions, so I guess that's fun. It's a good game.
Or perhaps it would be.
All right, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this last dialogue skip, and then I'm going to pause, and then we'll do the ad break.
Every time I see the samurai guy, I'm like, I just really want to fight him now, because I haven't gotten to fight him. I didn't know that was a thing.
Well, now you can.
Yeah, I assume if I just go on my PS5 version, that update's in there too, right?
Yep.
Oh, I'm gonna do that after the show.
Oh yeah. All right. Ad break now.
Let us know how many tries it takes.
All of the tries. So you said break? Okay. Sorry, I got distracted. So
good.
as mentioned during Automata, we try to take a break anytime a run is over 115, 120, something like that. We want to make sure everyone in the audience, everyone in the studio, the runners, etc., have a chance to go grab a drink of water, use the bathroom, pet your dog, grab a snack, anything and everything. Now's a great time to do it. So we'll be back in just a few minutes. Hello everyone and welcome to Perilous Paths here on GDQ Hotfix. We are in the middle of a stellar Blade run, and it has been mentioned a couple of times this was featured at AGDQ recently. So let me tell you a little bit about Summer Games Done Quick 2026, which will be live in Minneapolis, Minnesota from July 5th to 11th. And we're currently accepting volunteers and runners who will receive an event badge. So make sure you apply by March 31st if you're interested in doing camera ops, tech donations, activities, or one of the many, many other things going on there. And you can look into that at gdq.gg/volunteer/apply and learn more about that. But whenever you are ready, Ashley, if you want to give us a countdown, we can get right back into this run.
Yep, I'm ready. I'll give you 3, 2, 1. We're resumed. So just went out of bounds here. We hit the save trigger, and then we're doing a quick restart from save. And then we're going right to the second Lily dialogue skip. This one, we're still kind of in the process of figuring out how to make it like save more time, because we do need talkie mode again after this. First, let's lock in real quick and hopefully nail it. Perfect.
Clean.
Very clean. And then as we were talking about before the end of the before the break, Spire 4 is kind of where like the main like meat of this game like really kicks in, because this is going to be big skip into skip into big skip, and then we're like in the home stretch more or less.
Well, we'll see what she. Okay.
Casually though, this is the point of no return. So if you can't go back and complete any side quests after this point of the game. So.
All right, all aboard, everyone.
Yeah, this next section is what I like to call probably one of the most technical sections in this run.
Which I think that Wright is going to Al test now.
Yeah, fair.
Looks like it's time.
So, Blue, you want to talk about this out of bounds?
Oh boy, so getting out of bounds here is kind of tricky, because if you were to look at the collision viewer, there's this weird just crease right here that we can just get ourselves stuck into. And you have to do a slope jump to get up there in the first place. And you kind of just jump up, getting stuck over and over again until you reach the top, so you can actually stand on top of an invisible floor. And we're pretty much going to be finding a way down that's avoiding all the void out triggers, and we're going to be finding a body of water for the obvious reason. We're going to air swim to the next major section of the chapter. And you got to do some of these jumps without being able to see where you're at exactly, because you're just standing in the air. So it's a little bit tricky.
Game is like, at this point in this game is like, if there's a puddle of water, we're getting out of bounds and we're using it at this point.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm actually just for the sake of time, I'm gonna set a safety like checkpoint here. just in case we screw this up, because this is a pixel perfect lineup that we need here. So we're gonna line up just like that and walk off. And now we're in like kind of the regular glitch swim state. This height looks absolutely perfect, by the way. I don't think you could be any higher than this. The height that you drop into is a little varied, but it mostly depends on the angle, and this is probably about as good as it gets.
Yeah, there's like there's a trade-off for every form of height when you do this air swim in particular. Like, the lower you get, you'll probably have more speed built up, but if you're too low, the next part of the trick just won't even work.
Yeah.
But when you're up high, it's like, yeah, you're absolutely safe. Just, it's a little bit slower, but you're guaranteed to get to the next part right.
So we're just kind of making our way over here. There's a huge invisible wall that we're gonna hit here. And then once we hit this, I'm going to pause my game. And now we have a ton of speed. So 42 plus 30, that's gonna be 12. So we're counting to 30 to basically we're bleeding off our vertical speed. We need to translate all that vertical speed into horizontal speed, and that takes it roughly 30 seconds, depending on the speed that we get here. So in about 10 seconds, I will turn off or peel off of this wall, and then we'll just have a ton of speed, as you'll see. So 3, 2, 1.
It's such a weird phenomenon where, like, if you stop moving, you just drop down like a rock into the abyss. But like, if you do that against a wall, you don't drop, but that speed is built up.
Yeah.
We're trying to make sure we can hold on to that speed horizontally, but not drop like a rock. But now we have that speed built up. You can look at the pod. I call it a pod, holy NieR Automata brain, dude. But like, you look at it and moving, you can tell we're moving fast, dude.
Moving ridiculously fast. So fast, we're just swimming through time and space here.
Yeah, now we know what it looks like to swim to space.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then that right there is the end of the very big hypertube, which is kind of like a 3-minute auto-scroller section. And just like that, we pop back inbounds. We're gonna come over here, look to the side, hit this save point, and reload checkpoints if we go back inbounds. We look to the side because the angle that you're looking when you hit the save trigger like translates to where you're facing when you load back in. So that's the reason we kind of turned to the side there. That guy back there would have been a boss that we would have fought, but if we didn't do that big crazy skip. But here we are.
So we literally swam into space there.
Literally swam through time and space. Yep.
Yeah. For chat's reference, there is a part of the game where you go to space, and I think we just did it.
Yeah. You can actually attack him and start the fight, but you shouldn't do that.
That's a big waste of everyone's time.
Yeah.
So then right here, we're kind of getting pinched in this collision, whip the stick around, and then jump back out, get back up and out of bounds, just like so.
Skipping that entire conveyor section.
I've done the Orca Dam section so many times, I don't even remember what it's like casually.
There's a bumpin' song that you hear while you're like skateboarding through a tunnel.
Oh, it was that section, right?
Yeah, and anyone that hasn't heard the game and heard what I just said, and you're like, what? That's your cue to play this game casually.
Yes.
Also, the fact that you don't have to deal with this is incredible.
Well, he can still hit us, but yeah.
This cargo, like, hiding behind the gun and doing the cargo section and everything, this thing is an absolute nightmare to do. So the fact that you get to skip that is incredible.
Oh yeah.
Just full of a lot of insta kills.
So now coming up is the, of course, kind of up in the air because we do need to get our Taki energy back, and I'm still not really sure what the best way to do that is. We'll try and backstab
the meter
this guy.
for the transformation, it builds up over time when you're in combat, and it also goes up a little bit when you hit things. So there's some moments where you want to just get in combat on purpose just to build up that meter. It's in the bottom left. It's that circular meter with the wing on it. Yeah. So we just want to make sure we have that built up before we get to the end of this area, because there's a huge skip that was originally meant to skip a boss, but you can also stack that with another skip immediately after that to just skip that elevator section coming up next after that. So if we get that meter built up, we can do a lot of things with it here.
So what's nice about playing this on PC is you can do this puzzle on keyboard, which allows you to buffer the directions. Whereas normally, like, you have to press like perfectly straight on the left and right sticks to do that optimally.
The number of times I made mistakes on this with the sticks, dude.
Yes, chat, Nerber.
Let's go to the
You saw that, right?
Everyone's favorite code. Yeah.
Everybody's favorite code.
Alright, we're just gonna get hit a little bit. Alright, I think we're good to go.
Yeah.
I think we've adequately angered them.
They'll get over it.
I think I grabbed safety save here, yeah?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna take a bit of a wonky path because I don't want to aggro these guys. But this is probably like the most stressful skip in the run. Oh, I accidentally aggroed this guy.
Yeah, this skip is super finicky. It's really just difficult. It's you gotta like stand in this. You gotta stand in this spot. You're gonna do a weird slope jump and try to get caught at the top of it, and you're gonna try to unstick and jump onto a small invisible platform. And the hardest part of it, or the worst part of it, really, is just getting stuck as you do this slope jump. It's weirdly inconsistent. Okay. Oh.
Perfect.
There you go.
There we go.
And we're gonna position ourselves
platform
like so.
here. Taki jump. There we go. Worst part out of the way, but we're not done yet. Oh. Dang.
Did you see it like push me down?
Done yet. Yeah, I saw that. That was weird.
That's why we grabbed the safety save there.
Yeah, like that was definitely we were through the worst part of it, but we weren't done yet, and it just kind of shoved you down for some reason.
For what it's worth, this is how I expected this skip to go at GDQ, and I played it up like it was this big hard thing, and then I first tried it.
Yeah, that was nuts.
Hey, just because you first try it doesn't mean it's not hard.
For sure.
Many hours of practice Ash was put into this trick for sure.
I think there was like maybe a whole week where I didn't see anything else of this game. Alright, come on.
Yeah, especially with how far into the run we are, and having a trick like this can be very frustrating.
This is what it looked like a lot of the time. Trying to get up there, trying to get stuck as high as you can, and then it just kind of unsticks you and makes you stick down lower. It's like, come on, man.
Like, can we please just get along? That was like reloaded out of. I almost reloaded out of habit.
Oh man!
I swear it's just working different every time. There we go. Beautiful.
All right, we're up here again. Hockey mode. Jump triple slash. And we're up. All right.
There we go.
But the skip entirely isn't done yet. Now we're going to do a slope jump up here. And then we're going to ledge grab. And then we're going to be walking along a very, very thin, invisible wall. And that section right there ahead of us is the elevator we would normally be riding, but we're going to be going to the door at the end of it and just skipping the elevator ride entirely.
Yeah, it's just surprisingly deceptive how thin that wall we're walking on is. When I first saw how thin it was, I was like, whoa. Wait a minute.
We're just gonna climb back in bounds. And that's the stressful part over. That only cost us 3 minutes.
Lily, do you see another way? I found a working passenger element.
And then, just like in NieR, the attacks like to lock onto enemies, just like so.
Well, the only choice is the flight.
Even when you're past them and they're not on screen, it'll just sometimes pull you right to them.
I'll examine the outer wall.
And just like that, we're getting on this invisible to set up this jump over to this guy. This skips the whole sequence where we're like outside of this big spire that we're in. Just skips all of that. We just go right to where we want to go.
That was clean.
That jump is trickier than it looks. It's really easy for like anybody to just mess it up for what feels like no reason.
That first platform you stand on before you jump to the robot is actually a lot smaller than it appears to be.
We can use the elevator to fell as a makeshift bridge.
And then this is a very new skip as well. So we're jumping around a big cutscene trigger that starts us into like a QTE sequence. And we're in this, like the area that QTE sequence would be in. I climb up on top of this invisible wall, jump over this other invisible wall. I'm gonna jump up over onto this last invisible wall, and then go all the way home.
This replaced a very finicky out of bounds trick too.
Oh yeah.
Master.
So before we would do a QTE sequence where we're trying to run away from falling debris, and then we would be in that like half circular room where getting out of bounds there was really tricky, because if you were to look at the collision viewer in that room, they just put in a rotated, slanted, gigantic invisible wall. It looks really silly. We were trying to navigate around it.
Yeah, you had to like jump and get yourself stuck, then you had to jump to the right and then go back to the left to get a ledge grab. Yeah, it was rough.
Yeah. Ostensibly, I don't need beta trance here, but I'm gonna do it anyways, just for show. I swapped Exospines to beta trance because of the fight coming up. We can't use any ranged attacks on it, so it's kind of an opportune time to sort of like farm beta energy to set us up for the last several bosses.
Arissa, I'd like to go upstairs. Please, wait a moment.
Yeah, and unfortunately in this section there's a lot of standing around and waiting, so we try and use the time to like swap whatever we need to swap, refill ammo, refill health.
Funny enough, there was me and my bud JMC, we found a way to skip her walking toward the door, but it's really dumb and really YOLO. You have to like get yourself caught in a corner to where you wait out the whole fall to death timer, and you have to do it at the right moment to where she's walking toward the door. If you do it too early, it kind of ruins everything. Saves like not much, really hard to do, but like just one of those fun things where it's like, yep, I'm glad we're not actually doing this.
This is one of those things I was gambling on that would have been skipped by now.
You would think.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the worst parts of this game we haven't skipped yet.
You can always open the rear shield screen.
I mean,
yeah, it still has some auto scrollers here.
Open the shield screen.
I mean, casually, this part's a vibe, but when you're banging out runs, it's can we just hurry it up already?
Yeah. We've tried like using the fall timer to where you die at the end of the timer, the death timer. We tried using that to see if we can skip this part forward, maybe skip having her walk around or something, and it works in the first elevator ride, but on the other ones it kind of, I think it either soft locks the game or just doesn't help at all. So we've tried some things to no avail, sadly.
And unfortunately, we don't actually have a means of like clipping through walls yet. Like, we haven't found a way to do that. Oh yeah.
The very few burst skills we actually use in this game.
No kidding. I forgot to swap to sonic grenades. I forgot that's like the marathon route.
You don't need marathon safety here.
Thank you as always.
Well, it's not even safety. It's because it looks cool.
Oh, okay.
Gotta have the swag strats.
Yeah, I gotta show retribution as much as I can.
Lily, what's our next move? If you follow the path, there should be an elevator taking back here. Whoa, be careful!
So now we're coming into Karakuri. Script for this. Okay, do you know what it is?
Yeah, so the script for this is we're going to dash attack I wave. We're gonna run to Karakuri, do jump chain combos of 4 attacks. When we hit the ground, we're gonna do 2 to 3 more attacks, parry the final attack, jump attack into the phase transition. Unfortunately, we got an extra attack there, which can happen. And as the phase transition happens, we're gonna be dashing backwards. And we're gonna dash attack, overdrive, I wave, and then finish the fight with jumping attacks.
The phase transition attack is one of those ones you really, really, really don't want to get hit by because it kind of just disables your beta skills for a little bit. You don't want that. You want your max damage moves.
I know we got a little bit out of control.
Sometimes the fights just do that. You want the phase transition to happen, but the boss is like, I'm gonna do an attack first. I'm sorry.
For like no reason either. It's like you've already hit the health threshold. The shield's already gone. What are you attacking for?
Yeah, sometimes you can manipulate that, like force them to stop their attack transition with by breaking their shields, but that's not always an option.
Just now used a human as a host. No, that's not quite right. It'd be more accurate to say.
I almost forgot the name of that burst ability. Is it actually overdrive? I hope I said
it's overdrive. Yeah.
Combine with multiple people. Maybe that's why.
That's that fight. When it's
I pulled my notes up and it looked like you were like reading off of them, so you got it right.
I've read those notes so many times for all of these bosses. But yeah, when Karakuri is done, like perfect, it looks so clean. It's probably one of my favorite fights in this entire game.
It's kind of cool how even though we're on the easiest difficulty and our fights are scripted, there's still a ton of skill and like reading that goes into doing them efficiently. But yeah, so this is a like 90-second auto scroller. It looks like we're moving up, but actually the map is moving around us and the next area is just behind that door, but we're not allowed to go there yet. I would like to take the opportunity to shout out Gino, Halfway Till Bliss. He was actually on commentary for my GDQ run, and he would have been here tonight, but he's unfortunately going through some stuff and couldn't make it, but I just want to wish him well. Hope he's doing all right. And I'd also like to shout out the rest of the Stellar Blade community. It's not a super big one, but, you know, who we have there is very, very nice, friendly, good company. So if this game does look like something that you want to run, don't hesitate. We'll help get you started.
Yeah, everybody in this community.
Ask some questions.
Everybody in this community has been super helpful.
And also shout out to Cutie to having me on here to do this game.
No, it's my pleasure. Been looking for a place to slot you in, and for reference, you came up with the idea of having Percy do NieR Automata, so I can't take full credit for this episode. You helped put this together.
I think it was a brilliant idea to like package the two together. So really proud of how it's come out. Anyways, the whole point of that.
To the banger of the music that plays for that whole auto scroller.
I was about to talk about that. I think the only reason that we have to wait for 1.5 minutes is because they want you to hear the whole song.
That's our MGS3 ladder, except we're doing it to the space.
Oh, 100% it is.
Speaking of, ascending, we have this room here with these platforms that move up and down. I believe they're on I believe they're RNG and kind of on a cycle, and a couple of these early platforms did not look like they were in our favor, so we kind of have to just sit here and wait sometimes. And that one's leaving.
Oh no.
Yeah, there's like a slow cycle, a semi-faster cycle, and then there's a fast cycle where you can literally just jump through the entire thing up until this last and final jump.
I'm like always saving or losing 20 seconds here. It's kind of awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, we have a boss fight coming up here in the next room. And it's kind of one of the first boss fights where things start getting really tanky and chonky. Like, okay, these things take a little bit longer to kill for once.
Even on story mode.
Bosses from here on are going to be a little bit like that. Yeah.
Yeah, this next boss is definitely a bullet sponge.
I did just realize though I'm going into demo crawler with full beta energy. That's kind of unbelievable.
That's crazy. Usually when we're in this fight, we have like, I don't know, maybe 4 cells of energy.
That was off script. We're gonna wait for him to pull out this big sword here. We're gonna do a perfect evade. I don't need the parries. Normally we would parry his first attack for the beta, but since I'm at full, we're just not even gonna worry about it.
I guess the other thing to note is that some bosses, when they're doing their phase transition moves, whatever, when they're not losing any more HP from getting hit, we'll still hit them anyway, because even though they're invincible, we're still gaining gaining beta energy from them. But we're max, we kind of have to do that.
Final phase, eye wave, and we're just gonna finish him off with the shotgun here.
Nice.
To point, the shotgun is very broken in this run. We use it in just about every boss fight that we possibly can. I mean, even the ammo routing though, it's also routed ammo too.
Yeah, the ammo routing's pretty tight. We're like out of shotgun ammo by the time we refill in passenger lift, and then we're just about out when we refill up after this next boss, and then we're actually out by the end of the game.
By the way, Chad, if that music and soundtrack and everything you just saw didn't intrigue you enough to check out this game, I don't know what you're doing here. That's about as hardcore as it gets.
I mean, talk about this cutscene too. This cutscene's sick.
This cutscene is sick.
Oh, yeah, and like immediately after this is really cool too. Like this whole section of the game is just
peak.
It's just cool.
Peak.
Badass.
Yeah, I was saying during the break that demo crawler track became my favorite my favorite track in this entire game.
Now, I don't know if it really like stands out, but because we did the Lyle skip, there's some parts of like the Space Center like ambient sounds that have been playing the entire time, and it just sounds like a low frequency like humming, and you can hear it like out in space because normally it's supposed to be completely silent.
I didn't actually notice that.
My attack was blocked. Find a way to open its eye again. I'm analyzing it now. I've got it. A direct hit. It looks like it's losing nerve connection.
Yeah, unfortunately, this is just a point, wait, and shoot till we finish this whole fight.
This is like the end of Resident Evil 7.
This is it.
I was gonna say, this is basically just Resident Evil right here. And then in a little bit, we're gonna get to what I call like the Dante Virgil fight of this game. Hands down, one of my favorite things in this game. I assume we still do that, right?
Thank
you.
Raven?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
we did.
I was like, please don't skip my favorite part.
This is what I like to call the most useless mech in any game I've ever played. All it does is catch us from space.
Thank you.
Well,
and then go rogue in the bad
I was gonna
ending.
say, depending on your ending, but yeah.
right, how are we feeling about unskippable cutscenes? Should I start skipping through them for time? Like, fast forward?
How long are they?
And Adam?
So my run prediction says 1:37.
Okay, that's.
I can fast forward and cut a few minutes off if we're pressed for time.
If you end up 2 over, that's fine. It's not a big deal.
Okay.
We don't need to do any cheese.
All right.
Is this a Life is Strange sequel? No, not.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's a reference to. I've played Life is Strange, but no, this could not be further from that.
Eve, hurry to the present.
Yeah, it's unfortunate though that the end of this game is like cool boss fights followed by multi-minute cutscenes into another one.
Yeah.
Into another multi-minute cutscene.
I mean, there is some incredible boss fights coming up here. If you do them on like hard mode, I really enjoyed like having to learn these and perfect these.
For sure.
We're gonna I-wave at the start, do a dash attack, and that's usually enough to threshold her. So I'm gonna be doing L canceling between the phase transition. I'm gonna wait. Miss the dodge there, unfortunately. Do another I-wave. Knock her over, and we're gonna shotgun her to the threshold. More L canceling to build back that beta energy that we used. And once more, I-wave, knock her down, finish her off with the shotgun.
Nice.
And that was our last shotgun shot, so we have to refill after this.
Yeah, the I-wave.
Solid backup ammo type to use if you run out of shotgun shells is the explosive shots. They don't do as much, but it's close enough.
It is, yeah.
The I-wave, doesn't it put the enemies into like a, what is it, like a staggered animation, which makes our one exo spine make us do like a super increased damage, and that's why this all works so well together?
Yeah, our NG Plus kit is really just geared around like exactly how we're playing, which is knocking them over, using ranged attacks on them when they're knocked over, and just dealing extra damage, because I think we have all 4 of our gear slots are on double-edged.
Yeah, the third hit of Infinite Wave is a knockdown, and if that is not available for whatever reason, then we have the stun grenades, or whatever those grenades are called, that do the same thing. So we're completely geared around knocking things down and doing bonus damage.
And
this is the cutscene I would fast forward if I could.
In case chat hasn't
shift up, please,
hasn't figured it out yet, yes, the giant raven is in fact our friend Raven.
No, is it?
What? Yes. I've always wondered if that was like a translation thing. Like, is it harder to know the twist in Korean or something? I don't know, but yeah.
Yeah, maybe unidentified translates to something else.
Well, I meant maybe Raven's name is different.
Oh yeah.
Because I feel like when you name a character Raven, you have a giant black bird as your first. Like, because we skipped the cutscene, but in the beginning of the game, that's what kills Taki. And so we see the giant black raven from like 3 minutes into the game. So we knew, like, literally from the beginning, and then you introduce a character called Raven. It's like, what? Really?
That was the moment when I lost.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this cutscene.
This one
another long one.
Decides to become skippable like 2.5 minutes in.
It's a half cutscene. It's like you have to watch half of it, and then the other half is skippable.
So basically,
skipped up. Come on.
So the big twist is Oracle's actually the original Alpha Nativa, but he turned good, and he has the last Alpha core that we need to open the Nativa nest, basically.
The only male android us in the game.
Have you collected all the Alpha?
So I haven't asked, what ending are we going for?
Except for one.
The best one.
We lost it.
Okay.
Out in space.
The cinema one? You know the one.
I can take a guess. I won't spoil it for chat. But for reference chat, there is, multiple endings you can go for. Some are maybe better than others.
there's one ending that you actually have to do a good bulk of like the side content to even unlock, and that's probably the one that the sequel for this game is going to be built off of. Which, again, I won't spoil, but we're going for the quote-unquote bad ending, but not the worst ending, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Because there's like a true ending, then like bad ending, and then like worst ending, right?
That's probably the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna do those slip jumps, fill up on ammo, and then be off on our way.
So, are we going to...
I suppose so. Although...
Same here.
Maybe something happened to him on... I mean, it's not...
Wait.
Yay, more cutscenes.
Yes.
Yeah, Adam's missing is what's going on here.
Key for us. Adam, he said he installed
Yeah, and then
Lily.
Yeah, that's right.
Lily and Eve come to the realization that, oh, the bike has a tracker on it.
All right, let's go.
Okay. To the
You,
tetrapod.
you could.
I don't know why the
there's a
game
lot of
gives
like
you-
treasure chests and stuff you could go hunting. I
To the
guess.
tetrapod.
I don't know why the game gives you the choice to go to a different region
This
here.
game is oddly strange about when it does and doesn't lock you out of stuff. It's like another pet peeve of mine.
Can't
with it.
like finish any quests or anything. So I guess you could do that, yeah.
Then let's go towards the signal. Let's go towards the signal.
One second, we're just working on the stream.
Alright, so here is actually like the last skip in the entire
Lagging a little bit.
This is...
If I can pull it off, let's see.
Colony module.
Let's take a look around. There's a legacy. It's another record.
So we're gonna
from Raven,
sort of slip.
the one who attacked Zion.
Okay, I paused.
You're roboting.
Okay. Yeah. So we are working on fixing some of the stream issues. There's a little bit of lag on Discord and some other things. Hopefully it won't take us too long, but we're going to take a quick break while we sort this out on the back end. Don't go anywhere because like we've been talking about, these ending boss fights are incredible. So we'll be right back as soon as we get this set up. Okay, apparently we're not going to break. Apparently we're all good because Ray is far too good at their job. So we are actually all set to continue, I think. Ashley, if you want to give us a 3, 2, 1, if you're all good on your side.
So am I coming through good on Discord?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Sound good now.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, as I was saying, we were kind of coming up for the last skip here. We're going to sort of slip jump up to the side here. I'm like kind of thrown off all out of whack here. I don't know where I am. Okay, there we go. I'll climb up to the ledge on the side here, hopefully. Boom, just like that. Go over the final legacy cutscene. Took a little bit because I'm like not used to doing it from that starting location, but there we go. That skips the last Raven cutscene. Saves about 20 seconds if done fast.
It means that Adam is also here.
And then we're coming up to Raven, and her deal is she wants to be the girl, right? For the Elder Nisiva kind of thing. But this fight, well, I don't think it really needs to be explained. Just knock her over and then unload.
The body of a super weapon created by Mother.
Yeah,
One of the same strat as last few bosses.
For him.
One of the bosses I struggle with the most, and this run just becomes such a trivial fight.
Yeah, casually this fight is like super hard and super rewarding when you finish it. And then in story mode, you just knock her over and shoot her to death.
This is kind of
casually. You're just like actually dodging, blocking, all sorts of stuff. It's a very active fight, but in the run here, yeah, just knock her over and blast her. It's fine.
Yeah, I think of this as like the Dante Virgil Devil May Cry 3 top of the tower fight, like where they have similar moves to you. You have to parry, you have to use all the gameplay mechanics. It's an incredible fight, especially on higher difficulties where you have to really like have it down because they can kill you in 1 or 2 hits. So seeing it trivialized here with the stun grenades, it looked like, is pretty incredible.
Pretty awesome.
Human like you.
Yeah, this fight casually, I think, took me, what, Ash, 5 hours to do or something like that?
It took you like 2 days to do, man. It took me multiple days to do. I remember, like, you can tell when the game is going to end, right? And I was playing on normal mode, and I was like, okay, I'm going to try and finish the game today. And then I would be stuck on these boss fights for like hours. And I was like, okay, I guess I'm not finishing the game today. But they weren't like frustrating fights is the thing. Like, usually when you die over and over in a game like this, like, you think that it's going to be like super frustrating and not fun. But no, every time you die, you like learn something new.
So now, you won't be able to fight.
Yeah, we're stuck in another unskippable cutscene.
Unfortunately,
You've
yeah.
taken so much from me.
2 of them.
In exchange,
This Raven part and then the door.
I'll allow you to
I always forget the door, dude.
I think I timed it today when I was curious. It's like 2:30.
Who do you think you are? You don't know anything.
Also, this is so brutal how Eve just leaves Raven like this.
Right?
First.
As Halfway likes to say, he's like, don't worry, we're just leaving her alive for the sequel.
Let's go.
I mean, that's probably what's happening, right?
I think they did tease it, and you probably didn't see the last update, Cutie. They added like a new set of quests, and when you finish those quests, there's like a hidden room in Matrix 11 now, and you go in there, and it's like their office remade and like ruined like art aesthetic, but they have like a bunch of like trivia stuff that you can go and look at. It's super cool.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't been following.
I haven't done that stuff yet.
I haven't been following the sequel and the updates and the news and stuff. But I imagine with the success of this one, hopefully like a bigger budget and everything, I'm really hopeful they can make something really incredible.
Yeah, I hope so.
Hopefully we can skip cutscenes. That's all I'm hoping for.
Start a Twitter campaign, #skip cutscene.
If we're lucky, we'll get the Square Enix treatment where they let us fast forward through everything.
Is there no, because this is on PC, so PS5 never had this option, but is there no like cutscene skip mod that could be made or done or something?
There is. We just need to like figure out how to integrate it with like live split so the time stays in sync. But I think the community is largely like would largely like accept that like kind of change being made.
Yeah, for those in the audience, typically if you can, PC is usually a better console. Sometimes you get quality of life like that, where PS5 has no option for that whatsoever. But this used to be a PS5 exclusive, and it came out for PC like a year something after, I think.
It makes me wonder.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. I get all of the PS5 games a year late. Because I'll just say like, oh, my 2024 game was something that came out on PS5, but then that PS5 game becomes my 2025 game of the year, right?
Yeah, but you get to run it at like 200 FPS and all that fun stuff, so.
Strangely.
That too, yeah.
The Elder must already know that we're here.
Yeah, those higher FPSs definitely add some fun stuff that we can do in the run on PC.
Dude, all my jumps are getting eaten.
I don't see any Netibos on the road.
And I was hoping to see this game as part of those DLSS 5 memes.
We haven't seen those yet?
Not for this game, anyway. Is there any?
I saw one, and I'll send it to you.
Nice slope jump, by the way.
Actual last skiff in the round.
Actual last one.
Sorry.
This is where we make our choice
Adam.
to get bad ending or not so bad ending.
Basically, Adam wants to fuse with us and become like the future of humanity or something, and Raven's deal is she wanted to be the future of humanity. And I don't know. It's if you care, there's YouTube videos out there that'll explain it. But we're in the coolest fight in the entire game, and this is the bad ending. What do you make of that?
Yeah, this fight is spectacular. If you don't choose this ending, you basically just fight the mech, and it's kind of lame.
So this fight just becomes a combination of like all of the moves that we've been using throughout the entire run on every boss. And what we're trying to do here is we're trying to push Elder Natiba through a phase transition so we don't get an attack that wastes like 40 seconds, where we have to shoot some angels out of the air and then he falls to the ground and then you finish off the fight.
Finish it off with the Infinite Pierce.
Boom. We just have this QTE, and that's pretty much GG. Although we stopped time at the credits.
Yeah, we stopped time at credits.
GG.
My opinion is that time should stop right there on the QTE, but you know, it is what it is.
We'll raise hell about that later.
I think all three of us share that same.
I don't think anyone likes the way it is right now.
A little cloud Omni slash for good measure there.
It's like just shy of 2 minutes waiting for, like, skipping through some cutscenes and waiting for the credits to play.
Yeah, we'll just. Yeah.
Now we'll fast forward.
We've come this far, we might as well finish it out cleanly. But while we're waiting for time, if anyone is interested in doing shout outs or letting people know where they can follow you, if you stream, if you have a Discord, you run any other stuff, have events coming up, anything and everything, now's a great time while we wait. And then just whenever, let us know when time is.
They'll actually be here in a few seconds.
About 10 seconds from right now.
Seconds. Right when the name pops up on the screen.
And time.
GG's.
All right, now we can do all that fun stuff I talked about.
Yeah, so I would like to shout out, my good friends Alakai and Blue Metal for coming and commentating this run. I really want to shout out Gino again, who unfortunately couldn't make it tonight. I hope he's doing good. You can follow him on his YouTube channel. His YouTube channel is Halfway Till Bliss. He does this game like this is his thing. He does challenges in this game all the time. He's a super cool, chill, laid-back guy, not a weirdo, which you would think if someone's just playing Stellar Blade, they might be a weirdo, but no, that guy's super chill and awesome. You can follow me. My Twitch is my display name as it is. I play this, I play Control, I play Half-Life, I play all sorts of games. When Pragmata comes out next month, I do intend to hopefully run that next. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, if you liked hearing me yap over video games for the past 3 hours, then you can go and give me a follow and hear more of that. You guys want to shout anything out?
Do you want me to go next?
Yeah, go.
Just, the Stellar Blade community, not a lot of people in it, but dedicated bunch, all very nice, willing to help you run the game. So if anyone wants to hop in and ask some questions, we'll help you out. As for me, my Twitch name, same as my display name here, Blue Metal. Mostly known for Mega Man and a handful of other games, but this game is also, one of them. This was a fun game to learn how to run, among other categories and stuff too. So yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
I'm Alakai. I mainly run Control and Stellar Blade. Thanks to Ash. Ash too. I met Ash, running Control, and it kind of boosted me into running Stellar Blade now too, and it's been so surreal. And shout out to the Stellar Blade community also. They've all been a big help. And yeah, I stream twitch.tv/Alakai, and yeah, that's it for me.
Oh, you know what? I forgot to actually shout out the NieR Automata community because I run that game too, and they were on just before us.
Oh yeah,
shout out to them too. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you all so much for showcasing that. Like I said at the top of the show, I've been looking forward to this for literally months, and I'm going to wrap the outro up really quickly because we are a little bit over, but what I will say is stay tuned for the scenic route because it's all Castlevanias, and if you know Perilous Paths, you know we love Castlevanias. But real quickly, do want to shout out everyone and thank them for being on the show. So that's the runners, the commentators, of course, my production partner Ray, and all of you out there for hanging out with us, chatting, bringing the vibes. I appreciate you all being here week in, week out. But like I said, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to go to scenic route, which is going to be Castlevania. It's going to be awesome. So don't go anywhere. We will be right back.